Washington, D.C. area. Looks like everybody can see me and hear me okay, finally, after a couple of days of messing around, to say the least. And we are ready to get started. So I got a great presentation for you today. We're going to go through some live training that I'm really excited to share with you today. Originally, we were supposed to be doing this on Thursday, but of all the issues, wasn't able to get it started on Thursday night. So we are here. This is, again, live, like I said. I'm here with you. Hopefully, you'll get a lot of value out of this, and you're going to be able to get some real results. What we're going to be doing is we're going to have a little bit of a training, and then I'm going to do a Q&A at the end. So go over any of the training, any of the stuff that I've done or created, or any questions that you have. I'm really here to help you get your clients and help you get the most out of this system and the training that we're going to go over today. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Marshall said he was born and raised in DC. It's pretty cool. Oh, in Maryland. All right. So everybody's ready to go. Thank you all for joining me today. I really, really appreciate it. I know this is the second time, and it's probably really inconvenient for a lot of you. But, Ted, Marshall, Anthony, Brian, really, really appreciate you all joining me. Jack, let's see. We got Paul, Michelle. Thank you so much all for joining me today. We'll see about a replay. Initially, I wasn't going to do a replay, but with all the craziness and with all the people who probably weren't able to join it, I probably will get a recording of this out for you sometime. But I still really encourage you to stay to the end. I still really encourage you to take as many notes as possible, because it is definitely very important. Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. As you can see from the screen, in today's training, in this masterclass, what I call it, we're going to be talking about how you can instantly add high-paying clients to your business without having to sell ever. And that is my goal for everyone who is here today. Now, before we get started, I just have a couple of things for you. First and foremost, for those of you who may not know, my name is Cameron, and I really appreciate you joining me today. If you're anything like me, then I know that you're ready to get into the content and start learning as much as you can, as much as possible in the next hour or so. So with that in mind, in order for you to get the most out of this training and out of this webinar, please just make sure that you have some pen and paper ready. You're going to want to take some notes throughout the training and throughout the webinar. Sometimes if it's something that's important that I'm mentioning at the time, I will go ahead and let you know, hey, you might want to write this down, etc. So you can do that. But I do get to talking and get going and talking a little bit fast. So just make sure that you eliminate all the distractions around you so that there's nothing in the way from or takes away from what we're going to be covering tonight. And finally, again, if you have any questions, we'll be sure to answer all those at the end of this training. Sound good? All right, looks like I have to manually click, which I'm not used to doing on the slides. Just like to go with the arrow, but that's okay. So with this webinar and this masterclass, let me quickly tell you my goal for this training. I want to show you how anyone can instantly add high-paying clients to their business without having to do any selling. And at the end of this webinar, my goal is simple, is that you know exactly how to do this. In fact, I want you to be able to get at least 5 high-paying clients within the next 30 days from what you're going to learn here today. So you can literally sprint into success. Building a successful company can be done one of two ways. You can either take years of experimenting with trial and error, just trying everything, buying everything, and seeing what works, and probably wasting thousands of dollars along the way. Or you can simply model a successful consulting business, take what works, and apply it to your own business and to your own company. And I get really the same kind of 2 general questions all the time, and it keeps coming up from students via email support during one-on-one calls. And it's something usually along the lines of, Cameron, if you had to start all over again, if you had no experience, if you had no money, and you couldn't sell, what would you do, right? And then the second variation of that is I often get, Cameron, what would you do if you needed $5,000 in the next 30 days, or you needed $10,000 in the next 30 days? And again, you didn't have any experience, you couldn't sell, you don't have any authority. What would you do to be able to make that money from your clients? And basically, kind of like a combination of those 2 questions is what made me create this training and made me want to, provide this information to you, because I keep hearing that over and over again. So what I did was I basically took the methods that I knew worked best for my business and built a training around it. And throughout this webinar, I'm going to literally take you over my shoulder and let you steal my most effective methods for, generating a 7-figure client base, basically, for your business. Okay. And once you learn these methods, I can guarantee that you're going to be able to get at least 5 high-paying clients in the next 30 days. And if that happens, I'm going to consider this training a success. Fair enough? Good, because while you're on here, I only want people that are going to be serious to stay on this webinar, okay? You can only stay on this webinar, you can only go through this training with me if you're going to be an action taker, and if you truly want your own successful and thrivers, 6-figure or 7-figure coaching or consulting business, which means you have to do everything that you're going to learn. You have to be willing to implement it, even if it's something that you may be a little bit uncomfortable with, in order for you to actually get the results that you want. So are you ready to get started? Just go ahead and give me a quick 1 in the question box if you are, and if you're finally ready to take action, and if you're finally to get the business that you've always dreamed of. All right, I'm going to take a quick drink of water. So it looks like we're getting some 1s in there. Again, this is a live call, and we're ready to get started. If you're just joining us, thanks again for jumping on board. I see Terry is on the call. See Sue. Thanks again for joining us. We're just about to get started and really dive into this training, okay? So now that I know that I have the actual action takers on the call, I'm going to get really excited, okay? Because these are the type of entrepreneurs and business owners that I love to work with, because I know that you're going to do what I say, and I know that you're going to get the results that you're looking for. And if you agree to follow along with me and just take the notes that I'm talking about and actually get ready to truly build this system out that I'm going to explain to you tonight and get started, then you're going to really get the business that you want. And I'll show you how to get a consistent flow of high-paying clients on complete autopilot. I'll show you how to establish yourself as an authority, even if you've never closed a deal in your life, so you can get those consulting clients coming to you and actually begging for your services over and over and over and over again, all without having to do any of the selling yourself. So again, within 30 days, you can be on your way to building a successful and thriving 7-figure consulting business. Sound good? And so what it really comes down to, though, is, and I think this is for anyone that wants to create a real freedom in their life, right? The freedom to do more of the things that you love, the freedom to spend time with the people that you love, to do anything, to go anywhere, and to never really have to worry about money ever again. And really, that freedom is what we all want, right? That freedom is why we all started in this whole crazy world of internet marketing. And I think having your own consulting business can certainly help you with that and help you get that life of freedom. And that's probably just another reason why I'm sharing this with you today. So I'm sure you've been on other trainings that talked about building a coaching business or building a consulting business, but this is going to be really different from a lot of the other stuff that you might have seen in the past. And the reason is because, first, if you know me for a while, then you know that everything I do is really hyper-focused on your success only. Okay, I truly believe in delivering a lot of value, as much value as I can, to my students and my clients and things like that. And so this training is 100% never before seen. You know, new car smelling, fresh off the presses. It's brand spanking new stuff. And this is some stuff that I haven't shared with anyone in the past. Not even my high-paying one-on-one students has access to this type of training yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how my entire client generation system works, including the only 3 things that you need to do in order to have a wildly successful business. And there's only 3. Everybody makes it seem like super complicated and you have to be good at this or you have to be good at that. But really, it really comes down to just 3 core fundamentals that every successful coaching or consulting business needs. I'm going to show you the most profitable niches to target. I'm going to show you how to literally force business owners and clients to come to you without, again, having to do any selling. And that's important because although selling yourself and being able to sell your services is definitely important, the thing is you don't have to do it yourself. As long as you have a good salesperson or a good system that does the selling for you, it's not like you have to be, the best salesperson out there in order to have a successful business. All right. Someone else can do it for you. You can have a system set up that does it for you. Either way, you need to be able to get sales coming into your business, but you don't have to be the one who does it. Once you have all that, again, even without selling, you're going to be able to get your first high-paying client within the next 30 days. And probably I'm going to actually give you some case studies throughout this presentation where I actually show you how one of my students was able to actually get 10 clients within 10 days of implementing some of the things that you're going to learn today. All right. I'm going to show you how to position yourself as an expert, even if you have no experience, okay, even if you have no testimonials, even if you never worked with a business owner in your life. And this stuff is so easy. Literally anyone can do it. And again, like what you have to understand that that's really true. You don't need a fancy consulting degree from the Harvard Business School of, consulting sciences or anything like that, right? Business owners will come to you and be willing to pay you 5 figures per month if you just implement what you're going to learn here today. I'm going to show you how to outsource 98% of the work so you can focus on doing those more the things that you actually wanted and not being trapped by your business. But that's not all. If you stay to the end of the training, I'm also going to give you my never before revealed strategy to get a 131, since yesterday, 131 red hot consulting leads per week. Plus, I'm going to give you all the funnels that I use. And this is something that I know a lot of you are looking forward to on Wednesday. I kind of teased this a little bit on Wednesday, and I wasn't sure if I should share it with you because I thought it might be a little bit too overwhelming, but I'm actually going to share it with you today. I got a lot of responses from people who said they were really excited to learn how I was doing this. It's really changed my business. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. And I'm really looking forward to getting into it, okay? Because what it really comes down to is quite simply this system works for everybody. Anybody who does it, anybody who wants this type of business and who wants this type of lifestyle, who wants this type of freedom, this system will work for you. And you may be wondering, well, Cameron, how do you know it's going to work for me, right? Because I always get people who just think that for some reason that I have some sort of superpower or, I have this innate ability to do the things that are just born with it. And they think that all the successful gurus out there are like the same way. But that's simply not the case. This is a system and anybody can do it. Whether you're working full-time, whether you're working part-time, if you have no experience, or if you have your own business where you already have, some success and some clients coming in, you can use this system as well. No matter what your current situation is, because again, this is a proven system. And since it's a system, it means that once you set it up, it runs the same way automatically every single time, no matter what, and no matter who is running it. So again, since it's a proven system, it will work for you. And, when you implement this system, having your own coaching or consulting business, it can mean different things for different people, right? The consulting business that I have, the consulting services that I provide for my clients and for my students could be a lot different than the things that you do. And it doesn't matter what you do necessarily. It just matters that you put it into the system to get the clients, because that's what the major focus of this is getting the clients. I'm going to show you like the services that I do as well to get a huge return of value for my clients. But if you want to do something else differently, if you already have a service that you're interested in offering, or if you already have a business model in place with certain things that you do, then by all means, you can plug it into this system as well, okay? You don't have to be stuck in any one thing or any one niche. But there are a few things that this training is not. And this is important too, because you must avoid these common mistakes in order to truly be successful. Okay, first, this is not some get rich quick scheme. This is for real business owners. And although you don't have to spend 80 hours per week on it, it's still very much a real business. For example, right now for my consulting business, for consulting in general, it's roughly a 100 billion, that's billion with the B, $100 billion per year industry. And according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, it's projected to grow by another 83% by next year. So this time next year, it's going to be a $183 billion per year industry. And you have to understand that $83 billion is going to get paid to somebody. In addition to consulting, right now, businesses are spending another $12 billion on coaching. So coaching and consulting here are two different things, two highly, highly profitable niches and industries, okay? And that's not all. That's just business coaching. According to the Life Coaching Institute, life coaching, which is already a $2 billion per year industry, it's the second fastest growing industry on the planet. So coaching and consulting is a wildly successful business, and there's people out there making real money right now. And these, again, are real businesses. And this is not going to involve, the next thing, it's not going to involve any kind of click button, $1 million software, that stuff, it just simply doesn't work. None of that BS software works. And to be honest, if it did work, you probably wouldn't be sitting here right now listening to this training, right? Because you would have that software. Everybody would have that software, and they would just be clicking a mouse and letting the software run and have $100,000 in their PayPal account overnight. But none of that stuff works. The only way you're going to make $1 million from clicking a button is if you go hit the lottery at the grocery with the little machines, right? That's the only way. So, and while we're on the subject of those BS softwares, just get rid of all those pie in the sky, no work equals millions and millions and millions of dollars of promises that you've heard in the past. That's not what this training is all about. Again, none of that stuff worked for you in the past, so why not do something different? That's why you need to start a real business. The next thing that you must understand is that this coaching or consulting business isn't for anyone out there who just wants to take advantage of some people and just make a quick buck. Okay. Yes, this is a system, and yes, it will work to make money. But eventually, if you just did it to kind of deceive people and just try to get over on people, you're not going to really be happy, and it's going to come back to bite you at some point. Okay. So you have to really genuinely want to help people and to truly be successful and to have a business that lasts. Finally, if you're not in it for the right reasons and you don't want to do anything, you just want to kind of sit back, then throughout this training, I'm going to give you the entire system, but I guarantee that it's going to work for anyone. So if you kind of want to go that route, you're going to have to build it out over time. It's not something that you can just do overnight. Okay. But, and this is huge, you have to be willing to implement everything that I give you. Unfortunately, I can't do it all for you, but I can assure you that if you follow the simple steps laid out in this training and over the next 30 days to 6 months or even a year from now, you're going to have a business that you, in a life that you won't even be able to recognize. Okay. And it's all because of what you created and what you learned here today. Whew. Getting going here, right? But what you will learn from this system is you're going to learn how to get high-paying consulting clients coming to you on demand. You're going to learn how to have a 7-figure consulting business from home without any high-pressure sales, without any expensive overhead, and without any experience if you don't have any. Plus, as you're working with me, some of you are going to actually have the opportunity to use me as a secret weapon to help you grow your business. On this call, I'm looking for somebody today who I can work with for the next 12 months. And I want to have a case study with somebody who I can say, I took this person from, zero or near zero, no experience, to having a 7-figure business. Mark the date from when you're watching this training, because I'm looking for someone today who I can do that with. Okay. And everybody, you're going to be able to use me. You're going to get my entire system, but I'm looking for someone today who I can work with for the next 12 months and basically guarantee success. Because if you don't want to do it, I'm just going to send clients to you, and you're going to have so many people who want to work with you that you're basically going to be forced to actually do the stuff that we're talking about. Okay. So, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later. So just imagine what it would be like if 30 days from now, you did have those 5 high-paying clients. What would that look like for your family? Could you possibly quit a job that you hate going to right now every day? Could you work full-time from home? Now, not only imagine that you had this system and set up and you were getting clients like clockwork, but you also have a consistent flow of high-paying clients who are just waiting to pay you money, right? You already have 5, 10, 15, or 20 clients, but you also have in the pipeline another 50, 75, 100 clients who are willing to work with you at a moment's notice. How many clients would you have in the next 6 months if that was possible? What would your income look like? Would it be more than you're making right now? We could go on, but let's just do one more. All right. What would it be like if one whole year from now, so in February, you got the opportunity to work with me, or you've implemented this system with piercing effectiveness and you had dozens of clients? Would you have the things that you wanted in life? Would your family have the things that they wanted or needed in their life? Would you have financial security? And after 1 year of having a wildly successful and thriving coaching or consulting business, would you have that freedom that you said that you wanted earlier? Good, because that's exactly what you're going to be able to get today. Now, before we get started on the training, I think it's important for you to hear my personal story. Like I said earlier, I'm a full-time consultant and coach. I help my clients implement proven strategies for rapid profits and growth. I started my business from nothing to over $1 million in my first 2 years. I spent the last 7 years consulting with and coaching over 10,000 entrepreneurs and business owners, and with customers and clients on every continent, I regularly work as a marketing advisor to Fortune 500 companies and industry leaders. And what you have to understand is I started from nothing, no experience, no connections, and I was terrible at selling, terrified of selling, in fact, the first time I ever tried it. But now I've been able to build multiple successful businesses, all by implementing the things that you're going to learn here today. To date, my partners and I have brought in over $10 million in sales. I was even featured in Entrepreneur Magazine. And again, this is all because of coaching and consulting. Consulting, again, is a $100 billion per year industry, and it's going to grow by 83%. So as Zig Ziglar said, there's plenty of room at the top. And by this time next year, you're going to be able to get a piece of that $183 billion pie. And the best part is, since you're here right now, since you're learning all this stuff today, you're going to be in the perfect position to take advantage of that $83 billion that's going to be circulated over the next 365 days. Like, seriously, how many of you listening right now could find a good use for some of that money, right? Even if you got 0.0001% of it, how many of you, I don't know what that number is, but how many of you could find a pretty good use for that? I know I could. And if you don't think so yet, then just sit back and relax, because you're going to learn how to do all this stuff yourself. And then by this time next year, I'm pretty sure you're going to find out something to do with that cash. But of course, I didn't start there. I have been working online since I was in college. And like most people, I had dreams of making millions of dollars from the internet. I spent the first 2 years after college just kind of living with family, trying to learn everything that I could about making money online in general. And I tried everything, but it never really seemed to work out for me. And after spending thousands and thousands of dollars on training programs and softwares and live events and learning from the gurus, I kind of just finally gave up on it all. In the meantime, in the first 2 years, I got pretty good at SEO, luckily, but that wasn't enough for me to live off of. So I had to get a traditional 9-to-5 job. So I started working for this local SEO company providing SEO for small businesses. We were based out in Silicon Valley in San Francisco. And I remember at that point in time, I kind of thought my journey as an entrepreneur was over, right? So at first, I thought it was kind of a nice compromise. I was going to be able to, go in there. I got to work on the internet all day, and even though I had to work for somebody else, it seemed like a good compromise. But deep down, I knew that I still wanted to work and be my own boss, and I knew I wanted to have that freedom, right? And I wanted to not have to worry about money ever again, because although I had a good job, it wasn't, that freedom of that financial security that I think we all want. Most of all, I knew that I could be successful with my own business if I just had something that I knew worked, right? I was tired of all the gimmicks. I was tired of all the pie in the sky stuff. I just wanted a real business that I knew worked. And if I actually implemented it, it would get me huge results. And one day, fortunately, everything changed for me. I went to work after working with this local SEO firm for about 3 months. And at this point, I was already working 50 hours per week, managing over 40 clients all across the US. And when I got off work that day, I found out that my office was actually closing. And I would have to, make a choice. Either move out to San Francisco, where the company was located and where the company was based, and keep working for them, and keep going down the same path, so to speak. And they really wanted me to, offer me all sorts of pay increases and saw all sorts of new fancy titles and things like that I could put on a, business card. Or I had to, kind of stay there and find a new job. But I still had that burning desire within myself to kind of go my own way. And I just knew that I wasn't going to be able to make it as a traditional employee for another 40 years. So right then I decided just to quit all the things, quit everything else, and just once again, just focus on building my own business. But this time I had a feeling that it was going to be different. I really thought that I had figured it all out, because this time I had an idea of what to do. I had a template that I could follow. I could just implement everything that I was learning and everything that I saw this SEO company do it, and I could just do it for myself and start my own SEO company. It was something that I never thought about before, providing marketing services for local businesses. And my goal was simple. I wanted to log into my bank account and see $10,000 in payments from my clients every 30 days. I knew I wasn't going to be rich from that, but I thought if I could just do that, if I could just get $10,000 per month from local businesses, Well, then I could have a pretty comfortable lifestyle. And if I really got good at it, then I could scale that up to maybe, 20, 25. But a bare minimum, I just wanted $10,000 every 30 days for my clients. And if I got that, then I knew I'd be successful. So from that day on, I started working on my own business again. And once again, I tried everything. And for 6 months, I have to be honest with you, I felt like an absolute failure. All right. This time, not only was I failing to start a successful business, but now I was thousands of dollars in debt and I was getting evicted from my house. See, although I had a plan, I wasn't very good at selling, right? And I remember the day that I was coming home from, working at this local startup area where you can just go in, you work with other entrepreneurs. And I was coming home one day and I saw this eviction warning like taped onto my door. And I would just remember being so embarrassed because I didn't know if some of my neighbors had saw it, or I didn't know if one of my friends had maybe came by my house and saw that and thought I didn't live there or something. When something like that happens, your mind just kind of goes into crazy, 100 different directions, and lots of them pretty crazy. And it was all because I didn't know how to sell anything, right? I knew I could provide great services, but that wasn't enough. So not only was I not good at selling, but I wasn't good at convincing the business owners that I could help them. They didn't trust me. I was just this 22-year-old kid trying to charge business owners, $2,000 to $5,000 per month for SEO services because that's what the SEO firm I was working at did. So I thought, hey, if they could do it, I know how to do all the SEO. So of course I can charge the same amount. And to make matters even worse, I was still buying all the different trainings from the so-called gurus out there trying to learn how they built their offline marketing business. But unfortunately, it was just more money wasted, no results, and an eviction notice on my door. And in fact, I think the lowest day for me in terms of being able to sell and being able to do all this consulting stuff was uh, I was working on this website, and this business owner, he had posted something. I think it was from Craigslist. He said, "Hey, I need a new website and I need some SEO." And I thought it was a perfect opportunity. I found all the keywords that I could help him with. I made a fancy website. He sent me all the details if he wanted. I put all the bells and whistles, the SEO and everything. And I thought, well, maybe this will help me be able to pay off my rent and do the things like that. And so I built up this great site with him, stayed up all night doing it and working on it. And then the next day, somehow I actually got a meeting with the guy. I don't even know how, but the next day I remember I went to his office. It was a limo company, and I spent 3 hours talking to the business owner and basically just begging him for the chance to, use my website and pay me whatever he wanted to pay me essentially. And I could just earn my way. Right. And after spending all that time making this website, doing all the keyword research and spending hours and hours and hours trying to close this one deal that was kind of like my last hope, I remember the business owner just looked at me and he just said, "Thanks." And that was it. Never heard from the guy again in my life. And you know what? I remember driving home from that meeting thinking that it was all over, right? I was going to be homeless. I wasn't going to have anywhere to live. I wasn't going to have any money coming in. I didn't even have gas for my car. And I just decided then, once again, that I was done, that there was just I was just not going to be able to have this successful business that I thought I could have because I could not sell anything to save my life. But fortunately, at kind of like the lowest moment I had, I got home and I was going to have to try to figure something out. Eviction day is getting closer and closer. I got home and something happened. I had one of those moments where everything became crystal clear to me. Sure, I thought I had moments like this before, but this was something that was definitely different. See, the whole time I was trying to build up this business and trying to do all this stuff, I was just going out there and doing what the gurus tell me to do, right? Because I didn't have any experience myself and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to sell. So I was just doing what they told me to do. You're not cold calling, you're gold calling. Ask them if they have 5 minutes to talk. I was doing all that nonsense. But instead of doing what they actually do, I decided, well, why don't I just copy what they're actually doing? Instead of just going and buying all their stuff over and over again, let me just copy what they were doing. I'm going to copy their business model. I'm going to apply it to my business model of working with these local business owner. And it sounded simple enough. And fortunately, with a little bit of research and some funnel hacking, I was able to actually implement it as well. So that's what I did. Right then and there, I just decided, you know what? I'm going down anyway. I might as well go down in a blaze of glory, right? So I already have, dozens of websites, and I just threw something up really quick that made me look like the expert, that made me look like the go-to guru in the space of offline consulting and SEO. And with all the information that I learned from years of research and following all these gurus, it wasn't really that hard to implement. And the crazy thing is, once I had all this set up and once I actually saw it on the internet, once I actually saw the websites and all the parts put together that made me the expert, not only did I look like an expert to everyone else, but I actually felt like an expert too. It was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy. And the crazy thing is, it took some trial and error at first, but within 1 week, within 1 week, I had my first high-paying clients. And over the next 30 days, I had multiple business owners coming to me asking for my services. Nothing with me actually changed, right? I still knew the same exact amount that I knew about SEO the week before. I still provided the same services. I still did the same SEO work that I was going to do before. Nothing with me actually changed. The only difference was my sales funnel was had a different approach now. And now the business owners came to me. And it may seem simple, and that's because it is. And it kind of really hit me like a ton of bricks. After working with this for a couple days, I got my rent paid and got all caught up. And it was just like, once you start getting some success and once you start moving along, it's like things start moving a million miles per hour, right? And you're just trying to keep up with the demand and you're just trying to work with all your clients. And it's pretty good. You get to go buy the things that you want, wasting $5,000 in 1 month because you actually have money. But you kind of forget where you started. And I remember one day getting a certified check in the mail. It was from one of my clients, just one of them. And he's kind of an old school guy. And he still liked to pay with actual physical checks, right? So every month I get a FedEx overnight envelope, the big fancy envelope. The signature just goes to my, to my business address. But every single month in the envelope is a certified check for a little over $10,000. And that's just from one client. I don't know about you, but the first time that I got to deposit $10,000 cash into my own bank account and I knew it was mine forever, it was a pretty incredible feeling. And I get checks like that all the time now from my clients. But back then, I just remember how thankful I was that one moment for some reason when I just looked back and just said, man, this is all I wanted. And now I'm getting this from just one client. And after years, again, of trial and error, I put together this system that I know can do this for anyone else. And now, because of this system, I have a consistent stream of consulting clients and coaching clients coming to me. And yes, checks just like that. Now, I don't say all this stuff and tell you my story to impress you. Not at all. I'm just telling you this to impress upon you what's actually possible when you have this type of business working for you. Now, a lot has changed for me over the last 7 years or so. I've done a lot of things right. For example, I've set up more than 100 successful and profitable online sales funnels for myself and for my clients. Not too bad, right? But like most businesses, I've also done a lot of things wrong. Some projects, some lead generation methods, some sales methods, some campaigns, etc., have been flat out flops, even for me. I'm sure you know what that's like, right? You get all excited to implement this new strategy that you just found online or from the next guru, and you get all pumped up and you set it all up. You actually take action, you follow through, because that's the most important thing with this kind of stuff. You follow through and you take action. And once you do, squadoosh, right? Nothing. We've all been there. But after doing this for the last 7 years, I've learned some very important key points about getting offline clients. Now, this is one of the things that you want to definitely write down, right? The first thing is there's a hidden business within your business. Right now, you have all these methods for getting clients and for your services, right? And to some extent, I'm sure they all work if under like the perfect conditions, right? But you probably don't have the number of clients that you actually want, right? If you have any at all. Now, why is that? You have these systems and you have these strategies that may work, but you don't have the clients that you want. Well, here's what I learned. The business within your business is you actually need a system. You need that one method that's going to get you clients guaranteed every single month or every single week or every single day on demand. If you don't have that, you don't have a successful business, right? If you don't know that, for example, if you don't know if I get 100 leads this month, if you don't know exactly how many new clients that's going to lead to, then you don't have a successful business. That's the business within your business. The next thing that I learned that one simple funnel can automate any sales process. When it comes to getting high paying client, that means that you don't have to do any of the selling ever. And since you don't have to do any of the selling, that means you get high paying clients on demand without having to feel like a used car salesman. And I know that making cold calls and slamming offline clients isn't for everyone. And the best part is it doesn't have to be. See, let me ask you this. If I could show you how to close, let's just say 5 deals without feeling like without having to do any cold calling, without having to use any pushy sale tactics, and you can still make over $100,000 per month, would that be something that you would want to apply to your business? Seriously. Now, that doesn't mean that you're bad at selling. That just means that you have a business model and you have a system that you've always wanted. Finally, the third thing that I learned is that you can plug a successful system into any business. It doesn't matter what you're selling, and it's still going to get the same results. And remember what I told you earlier. It's all about implementing a system that's going to work today. And since it is a system, it doesn't matter what you're selling, right? If you have the right thing that's going to produce those results, like we were mentioning a few seconds ago about putting 100 leads in and getting X number of clients out. If you have that in place, whether you're doing coaching or you're doing consulting, whether you're doing SEO, building websites, you're reselling other people's services, it simply does not matter. It's all about getting the right system in place to get the results that you want. High-paying clients coming to you on demand. Now, again, I've learned a lot of stuff over the last 7 years, and unfortunately for me, even though I had a successful business and I was bringing in the income that I wanted finally, there's a lot of things that I had to learn, and I had to learn them the hard way. But now you get to basically get my cheat sheet, and you get to get all my best stuff the easy way. But before I can tell you what the easy way to success actually is, let me tell you what the hard way was like for me. When I first started to get and grow my SEO business, I didn't know how to get clients, right? I knew what to do, and I knew how to get them results, and I knew that I would be really good at it, right? Because I've always had this kind of confidence about myself, but I had no formal sales training. So I had no one to point me in the right direction about how to do cold calling or how to do this. I didn't know what actually worked. So like most people, when I first started, I absolutely sucked. There's just no other way to put it. I was terrible at it, and I absolutely hated it. I remember the first morning that I was actually trying cold calling, right? I remember picking up my cell phone and literally shaking before I even dialed the number because I had no idea I had this stupid little script about asking for 5 minutes of their time. And I just knew it wasn't going to work, and I knew it wasn't going to be something that I actually wanted to do. But over the last 7 years, eventually I started working with some scripts that actually did work. And I got a good pitch down. I was able to practice some more and do some more. And luckily for me, I had a really great mentor who was able to show me how to actually get this stuff done the right way. And I was able to bring on some clients with cold calling. But, at one point I decided, even though it was working for me, cold calling wasn't really for me, right? It was a good way to get some clients, and I could always go back to it if I had to. But I wanted a more automated system for bringing on clients. In fact, I wanted to automate the entire process. So over a few months, I remember I spent time testing and how to set all this stuff up so I could just eliminate calling and talking to clients completely. And I kind of found a way to do that. But what I found is that my retention rate actually fell about 90% from when I was actually calling and actually talking to my clients to sell them my services, right? And by retention rate, I just mean the actual people who sign up and follow through and actually pay me. That fell about 90%. And that was huge. So then I decided, you know what? Why not just do both, right? But I didn't want to go back to cold calling myself. So instead, I decided to bring on a virtual call center. Now, these guys are just absolute machines. They just hammer on the phone all day long. But the problem was that they're too expensive, right? You got to pay these big upfront fees plus commission. on all the things that they sell. And the commissions and the fees were just eating into my profit margin all the time. But like I said, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff because I've tried it all. I've tried it all over the last 7 years. Instead of doing it all the hard way, you get to skip to the front of the line. Okay. And you get to do it just the easy way. And it doesn't require you to do any selling ever. You can just copy and paste my proven system and plug it into your business. And just to give you an idea of how powerful this system is, in the past 28 days, we've sold over 6 figures of recurring high-priced services to business owners. And I have to sell one time. And that includes bringing on 2 deals in as little as 2 days. Pretty amazing, right? Right now, if I said, if you could start today in 2 days, well, it's the weekend, it's Saturday, but if 2 days from now you could get 2 high-paying clients, would that be something that you would want in your business? Probably. But I do have to tell you that these results are not typical. Okay, I'm going to walk you through the specific promotions that I use, the funnels and the systems that are earning huge sales numbers for me right now. But my results are certainly not typical. And the average person who attends this type of training is going to actually get 0 results because they don't want to do anything. However, I'm happy to show you the system. I'm happy to show you exactly what's working for me, absolutely for free. But again, this is not for the get rich quick people. This is not from the work from home biz op people or the amateurs or the people who want to take advantage of these business owners, because what you're going to learn is going to be pretty powerful stuff. So now that we got all that out of the way, let's actually get into some of the good stuff. At the beginning of this webinar, I told you that I had one goal in mind. Do you remember what it was? Right. I told you that my goal was to show you how anyone could instantly add high-paying offline clients to their business without having to do any selling ever. Well, in order for you to actually be able to do that today, you have to learn my 3 big secrets. Secret number 1 is that I can make more money in one day with an automated funnel than I can selling myself. Secret number 2 is I don't personally have to do any of the selling. And this is, again, a big plus because most people don't like to do things like cold calling. And secret number 3, I only need a few leads to make this all work. And for me, that's about 100 leads into like an autoresponder like Aweber or GetResponse or Infusionsoft or something like that, okay? If you have that, if you have 100 leads, then with a system like this, you never will have to worry about money again in your life. So let's break all 3 of these down. Secret number 1, all right? I can make more money in one day with an automated funnel than I can selling myself, right? We've all heard that you have to work hard to make a lot of cold calls to close a lot of deals, right? And that's certainly true. That does work for some people, but that doesn't work for everyone, right? And that might not work for you. But that doesn't mean that you don't deserve to have your own business. It doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be a successful business owner, right? Or that you won't provide the very best services to your customers once they actually do pay you. Of course it doesn't. Just think about it this way. Right now, people are so bombarded with advertising, right? It actually costs more money today to get half the results than it did 20 years ago with advertising. So what does that mean if you're cold calling? Well, that means you have to make twice as many cold calls today to get half the number of yeses. See, it's not always about who works harder. But what if I told you that there was a way to do 1/3 of the work to get the same number of to get the same number of results as a cold caller, right? Well, that's actually what happens when you work smarter versus working harder. So how many of you listening right now want to actually start working smarter? You work less and get more results than a cold calling. Hopefully everyone out there wants to work smarter. Even if you are good at cold calling, you can still implement this system because it's working automatically, right? And that's what an automated sales funnel can do for you. You don't have to focus on selling so much because the business owner, once they come into your funnel does all the selling for you. Secret number 2, I don't personally have to sell anything, right? In fact, what I found with all the business owners and the entrepreneurs that I've worked with, I found that there's actually 3 reasons why you should never sell personally. The first reason is that you're just too busy, right? You don't handle all the services. Maybe you don't handle all the technical support. Maybe you don't handle all the data collection. Maybe you don't, if you do something like SEO, you don't handle all the backlinking, right? You're too busy to handle everything within your business, especially if you want to grow to like 10, 20, 50 clients. You can't do it all yourself. It's simply impossible. So if you're too busy to do all the services side of it, why should you be spending time selling and cold calling all the time? Number two, it's just bad positioning. If in order to really be successful, in order to really have just a line of clients coming to you, you really need to be seen as the top of the mountain, right? What happens when McDonald's builds a new restaurant somewhere? Right across the street, a Burger King will pop up, right? Or a Wendy's will pop up. Why? Because they know that McDonald's is only building a restaurant there because they can make a lot of money from it. Right? So if you're at the top, then why would you spend your hours cold calling or creating free videos or creating free websites? It's just bad positioning if you're doing stuff like that. Finally, you're going to be losing money. If you're not good at selling and you're trying to sell right now, then you're going to be missing out on deals that a good qualified salesperson could have closed for you. Okay? And yes, if you're interested and you want to learn how to do selling, then it is important to kind of go through that learning curve. But even as you're going through that learning curve, even though it's going to be worth it in the long run, you're still missing out on income in the meantime. Instead, what you could have is one deal closing asset that does all the work for you, and one automated sales funnel that can bring in a consistent number of clients to your business. And once you set this up correctly, you don't have to talk to any of the business owners until they actually said yes. Let me go ahead and give you an example of this. This is how my 7-figure consulting funnel works right now. Let's say you start off with 100 qualified leads. This means these are business owners that know they need your services. They've already raised their hand and said that they were interested in your services and they can pay for your services. Yes, if we cold call, a certain number of business owners and we had a great offer and we followed up with them, you could probably close a high number of these deals. But again, that could take weeks or even months to get 100 qualified in front of 100 qualified business owners. Instead, with this system, what you have is a business asset that is closing deals for you. And let's say out of those 100 qualified leads that you put into this funnel, let's say maybe you come out with 20 potential clients. These are people, they got into your funnel, they're a qualified lead, but there's only about 20 of them that you would actually want to work with ideally, right? And after you actually meet with these business owners, let's say there's only about 10 of them who are actually buying right now, who actually are ready to, give you 10 grand for whatever it is that you're going to be doing, right? They want your services right now. They can pay for your services and they know exactly, and you know exactly what they want. That's what we call the buying now audience. And all that happens without you ever having to talk to a business owner. See, secret number 2 is like what I like to call the old model versus the new model. In the old model, you just cold call everyone that could potentially be buying something you from right now. And this is a bad idea because there's only about 3% of the market who's going to want your services right now. With the same 100 targeted business owners, though, using the old model, after 4 weeks, you might close 1 or 3 deals. Not good, right? Nobody wants to just close 1 or 3 deals after months of cold call, or after weeks of, or maybe even up to a month cold calling and trying to pitch your services. Again, if you remember, this is working harder, not working smarter. The new model, however, is you have leads applied to talk to you, and you have leads that are coming to you. You build an automated funnel and you just set it and forget it. Now with this system that you're going to be learning today and you're going to be implementing for your business today, you can see $8,000 coming in sales within the very first day, literally. You can see within 10 days, 10 new clients and over 6 figures in sales that are coming in simply because of this one deal closing asset. Now, pay close attention here because this is, again, my actual winning sales funnel. This is the entire system that I built and now brings in a consistent flow of clients for my 7-figure consulting business. The first thing you have to do is you start by driving traffic to your funnel, right? Obviously, you need people coming to your funnel. They're not just going to magically find you. All right. So typically most people start with cold email because it's free and it's easy to test. But I also have 3 other sources of traffic that I use to scale my leads, right? Or the contacts that are coming to me, right? After you drive the traffic to this automated, after you drive the traffic, it all goes to the automated portion of your funnel. Everything that you see on the screen that's a green box on the mind map, it's completely automated. Doesn't require you at all. The first green box is really where all the magic happens. This is where the clients are basically pre-sold by the time they reach step number 2. If they get that far, then it's a pretty good guess that they're going to be willing to buy your services by the time they get to the end of the funnel, excuse me. This application, the next part is the application, and this is where you start to sort through all the tire kickers, the business owners that really can't afford your services. And this really ensures that you only work with the clients that you want to work with. Plus, it positions you again perfectly as an in-demand service provider. Next, they're going to schedule a call. This is what I like to call a pre-qualifying step. This does a few things for you. First, again, it establishes you even more as an expert and as a go-to guru and someone that a lot of people want to work with because it makes it harder to get to you. And this can be done via a call. This can be done via email, which a lot of people who start off with, they just do it via email from like a secretary or something like that. And this can be anything. And basically what it does is it lets your client know that like, hey, you've been chosen for the chance to possibly work with Cameron in the future, or insert your name here. At this step, the business owner will actually schedule a call to speak with you. Okay. And then the last step is where you actually start collecting payments. And you can do this a number of different ways. The 2 ways that I like to do are either with like an automated webinar and just using something small to get them on board, or you can do it with the one-on-one strategy call where you actually close a deal. But most importantly, at this step, you get paid. And the best part is it all works even if you have 0 experience working with clients, and especially if you're not good at selling. Because if you're not good at selling, then you're probably just going to follow and say the exact things that you're supposed to say instead of trying to do things your own way and go all hog wild crazy with it, right? Again, because this is a funnel, this is a system, and you have to put the things in the right place in order to get the results that you want. Secret number 3, you're only going to need a few qualified leads to actually make this work. In fact, if you have 100 leads or so in your funnel, I kind of found that that's the magic number there. If you have 100 leads in your funnel, then you're never going to have to worry about money again. Just 100. Just 100 business owners in your Aweber account, in your GetResponse account, in your Constant Contact, whatever you're using, doesn't matter. If you have 100 business owner at any given point in time and it's constantly stayed filled around that number, then then you're going to have the business that you've always wanted. Okay. Now, I do have to stress there's a big difference between just having, somebody's contact information and having an actual lead. When they volunteer their information and when they come to you, that's when they become a lead. If you just have somebody's phone number or somebody's email, that's not necessarily a lead. That's just their contact information, right? So we do have to kind of make that distinction. But once they come to you, once they get to that point, once they actually become a lead, and once you get about 100 of those and you can consistently build that base up for this system, just because I know how the numbers work for my business, once you get about 100 of those and you keep it at about that number, then you're probably never going to have to worry about money again. Like seriously. Unless you're trying to go live in like Laguna Beach or something crazy like that, right? Then you might need 200. All right. And I could go on and on with all that stuff, but let me just take a second here and share with you a particular case study, right? I could talk about the tens of thousands of business owners and students and entrepreneurs that I worked with over the past 7 years, but I want to talk about one case study in particular because I want to share with you how this all works and how it all came together. Right. Recently, I was speaking with a former business partner, and it was just like a series of unfortunate things that kind of happened. And for whatever reason, it just seemed like the universe was kind of kicking him while he was down. And knowing that I have my own business and that I've been doing pretty well with the system, he came to me. He just said, "Hey, Cameron, I just wanted to let you know if there's anything I can do for you, to help you out." And I was just sort of thinking, this would be a perfect time to really set the system up with a complete beginner, somebody who doesn't really know anything about what I do personally on the internet and making money online, and to see if I can use them as a 7-figure consultant case study. And basically, I showed him all the strategies and all the things that I'm talking to you about today. And I just kind of gave it to him to see what would happen. I gave him an exact replica of my business model, gave him all my videos, client case studies, testimonials, application forms, scripts, and follow-up sequences. And I just gave him everything to see what would happen. Within 24 hours, he called me in an absolute panic. Okay, he was like freaking out because his website had over 30 visitors to it. 7 business owners actually wanted to talk to him, have a meeting with him, and he had dozens of emails with people asking him questions. And to be honest, I could tell he was a little bit scared. He didn't know that this was actually going to work so fast and bring up all these people who actually wanted to work with them. But after I calmed him down a little bit, I talked to him for about an hour explaining how everything was going to work, what to do next, how to use the follow-up call sequences, and how to actually talk to the business owners, and most importantly, how to get paid, right? How to get paid from these business owners. I explained it all to him and I just said, listen, I really need you to take what I gave you, and I need you to go out there and do it and let me know what happens. So that's what he did, and we agreed to meet in another 2 weeks. When we met the second time, his results were absolutely incredible. He was able to get 10 high-paying clients in just 10 days with no selling ever. No cold calling, no sending, cold emails and following up with 100 different emails and things like that. Nothing. He simply waited for the business owners to come to him, and he got paid. And to be honest, this could be you too. Everyone always thinks, well, Cameron, you have these superpowers and you can do all the technical stuff, and you were just born lucky, or whatever that it is that they think, that some reason why other people are successful and they're not. It doesn't really matter whatever the reason is, but most people, when I start working with them on a one-on-one basis for coaching or consulting, they always have some reason why they can't do it. And that's really what it comes down to, right? And it can all be boiled down to just one simple thing. That's great for you, but how do you know it's going to work for me? And again, like I've told you over and over again in today's training, it's about implementing a system, because it's not just me. For the past 7 years, I've helped literally tens of thousands of students start working with and building their own consulting business, right? We worked with Lee Nazal. Lee has his own 7-figure coaching business right now. Dr. Dan, he was a medical doctor that was able to quit his actual practice and leave his practice and start making money from home with a proven system. Modeep is closing deals on demand right now, and we started working with him when he was just 16 years old. We also have Earl. Earl started a lead generation and Facebook retargeting company, and every time he wants to do something, every time he wants to buy something, he just goes to get another client. I remember one day Earl sent me an email and he was in Jamaica, and he had just had a quick little question for me, something, about one of his clients and something else that he could offer. But he sent me the email and he said, yeah, I just closed this new deal, so now I'm on vacation in Jamaica. And that's what happens. And that can happen for anyone. Anyone that is listening right now to me talk about all this stuff and setting up their own business, you can start your own successful coaching and consulting company right now. And by next year, get a part of that $83 billion. But you're probably still wondering, but Cameron, what if I'm not a consultant? And you may think that you need some fancy degrees, or you need a sparkling website with all the bells and whistles, or that you have to meet business owners in person. But that is simply not the case. Here's what you actually need to have a successful and thriving consulting business. First, you need leads. You need leads that go into a proven system, a proven sales funnel, and then you need a service to provide them. If you have those 3 things, just leads, a constant flow of leads, if you have a sales system and you have a service to provide that's going to actually deliver value to your clients, then you have everything that you need to be a business. Okay? In fact, I'll give you another test. If you have a computer and a cell phone, I can give you everything else that you need to be successful. I can give you the leads, I can give you the sales funnel, and I can give you the service, because that's all part of the system that you're learning here today. So all you really need on your end is you need a computer and a cell phone. So right now, just really quick, this is a serious, and I need a yes or no from you all, okay? I need a yes or no. So just go ahead, type it in the question box now. Do you have a cell phone? Yes or no? If you have a cell phone, just actually type in the word yes. Like you need. This is a very litigious society. We gotta make sure we have confirmation. So if you have a cell phone, just type yes into the question box. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay. Somebody, do you have some way to communicate with clients? Maybe not a cell phone. Do you have, a wall phone with like 100-foot cord, like in the 80s? Do you have a wireless telephone in your house? Do you have some way to communicate with business owners? Looks like most of you do. Good. What about a computer? Do you have your own computer or at least access to a computer? Do you seriously, again, I need an actual yes. I need you to actually type in yes that you have a computer. Again, since you're watching this training right now, I'm assuming that most of you at least have a computer or have access to a computer, right? Perfect. 2 for 2. That means if you're listening right now, you have all the prerequisite requirements to have a thriving and successful coaching or consulting business, because I can give you the leads, I can give you the sales funnel, and I can give you a great service that's going to deliver a lot of value to your clients. And let's just find out what one of those clients would be worth. Okay. Let's just take a second and break down the numbers. I could show you how many leads turn into prospects and then how many of those prospects turn into high paying clients, but that all is going to change depending on what you're selling, your price points, and all that good stuff, right? Instead, let me just show you how to get 10 to 20 clients and what that's going to actually be worth to you. Now, I could tell you, when I say getting 10 to 20 clients, that doesn't mean that you're going to work with all 10 to 20, right? I know I personally don't, because if I get 10 to 20 clients, I might only work with 2 or 3 of them, right? Sometimes the deal falls through. Sometimes I don't like most of the time, actually, I don't actually like whatever the business owner is doing. Maybe I just don't think he's going to be successful. And sometimes there's some people I just don't want to work with. Why? Because I only want to work with the easiest clients out there, the clients with the highest budgets, the biggest companies that are going to be easiest in terms of getting results that I can deliver for them, right? And the ones that are going to pay me the most money. Yeah, I want to help everybody, but I can't help the startup guy who's just going door to door and knocking on businesses on people's doors and asking if they need their roof fixed, right? That guy's great. Hopefully I can work with them 10 years from now, but helping him right now isn't going to be really deliver the highest amount of value that I possibly could to somebody, right? So let's just take a look at the numbers really quick. Let's say you have one client, just one client, who is willing to pay you $2,000 per month. That's a $24,000 per year business. But what if you were actually able to implement the system that you learned here today, and you were able to do everything that I told you to do and take some action, and you were able to get 5 clients? You're able to get 5 clients, all still paying you $2,000 each. That's a $10,000 per month business and $120,000 per year. I told you when I first started, that's what I was going for. That right there is what my first goal was. $2,000 per client selling SEO services and get at least 5 clients. That's what I was going for. But let's say you actually went crazy and you were just one of the people who were really committed to success, and you were one of the people who really wanted to get the most out of this training and really, really, truly committed to building your own coaching or consulting business over the next year. And you just really did everything, right? You just went crazy with it today. And you scaled it out to 45 clients, all still paying you about $2,000 per month. Now, for my business model, that would actually mean that I was working about 90 hours per month, which is just way too much for me personally. But you could be different. You could want to work that much. You could build a team that helps you work that much. Whatever it might be for you, doesn't really matter. But from that 45 clients, that 90 hours per month, that will be a $1 million business for you. Again, just paying $2,000 per month to each client. And we could go on and on like that, but let's just take another example here. Let's go back and just say you got one client again, but instead of paying you $2,000 per month, what if they paid you $5,000 per month? Well, now you have a $300,000 per year business if you can scale that out to 5 or 45 clients. And you can adjust the numbers however you see fit, but what you'll find is that you can just easily scale this out to $1 million business with just 20 or so clients. And it's possible. $1 million is nothing when you're talking about $183 billion per year industry. $1 million is nothing. So, what will it be like for you What this will do for you is it's going to allow you to take the most valuable asset that you have, your time. It's going to allow you to take that back. Money's going to come and go, but your time, you can never get that back. So instead of spending hours at work making someone else rich, it's really time for you to start building your own 7-figure business. And once you do that, you can invest more in the times in doing the things that you actually want to do. Now, let me ask you a question. We've been through a lot of stuff so far in the last hour and 10 minutes or so. And hopefully you learned some really powerful stuff. But to be honest, an hour is really not nearly long enough to dive deep into everything that you're going to need to build this successful 7-figure consulting business. So I want to work hands-on with you. How would you like it if I were to go into your business right now and just give you my automated sales funnel for bringing in high-paying clients? How would you like me to show you how to stop selling and start bringing on new clients that are actually coming to you begging for your services over and over and over again? How would you like me to come into your business and help you find the perfect leads? And most importantly, how would you like it if I personally helped you close deals? Would you like that? If so, just put in the Q&A box right now and just say, I'm ready, because I want to work with somebody and I want to work with people who are ready to build this type of business. If you're ready, just let me know. Just type it in the question box. Yes, exactly. Looks like a lot of people are ready for this. So let me tell you, we have people who are ready for this type of business and who are ready to get a piece of that pie. So I would like to introduce you to the 7-figure consultant. This is the only coaching and consulting system that allows you to effortlessly attract high-paying clients without having to do any selling ever. Right? And over the next 6 weeks, I'm going to take you by the hand and walk you through step by step, bringing on high-paying clients for your coaching or consulting business. Each week comes with a live training session and additional videos so you can look over my shoulder as I build out this business with you, literally. Now, I told you at the beginning that your success is the most important thing to me. And I finally want to help all those people who said that they're ready. I want you to build your successful business. So with that in mind, what I'm going to be doing over the next 6 weeks is I'm going to be building a new consulting business from scratch, right? None of the other stuff that I've used before. So over the next 6 weeks, you can kind of see as a case study, as a live case study, how I actually do all this stuff. And you're really not going to want to miss it. The 7-figure consulting training is all about how you can establish yourself as an instant authority, even if you never close a deal in your life, how to get a consistent flow of high-paying clients on complete autopilot, and how to force business owners to come to you begging for your services. And so you can have 5,000, 10,000, or even, as you'll see, a $38,000 payday over and over and over again, all without having to do any selling ever. And within the next 30 days, you will have your own 6 figures to 7-figure consulting business. Now, you're not going to have necessarily 6 or 7 figures in your bank, but you will have a business that is earning that every single year. First, what you're going to get access to is a 6-week modulated course. And this course is hands-on training that walks you step by step through the entire 7-figure consulting training. It's a value of $2,997. And what this is going to allow you to do is I'm going to show you how anyone can establish themselves as an expert literally overnight. You don't need any fancy degrees. You don't need $1 million in the bank. I'm going to show you how to discover your inner expertise. And if that doesn't work, I'm just going to give you everything that I know about consulting, okay? You're going to learn how anyone can go from the average Joe to a proven authority literally overnight. And this is crucial because it's going to help you get over any of those mental barriers that you may have that's keeping you from really having a thriving business as a high-paid coach or consultant. And just really quick, because I think it's important, what's the biggest difference to you from an expert and a student, in your opinion, right? You can bring up all sorts of arguments, but I can tell you one that is certainly true without any doubt. The expert is the person who takes more action, who's done more. All right. Maybe they learned more, maybe they implemented more, maybe they actually took the steps versus the student who hasn't done it, who hasn't probably done anything. So once I'm going to give that to you, and I'm going to show you how to take the steps necessary to be successful. Then we're going to learn how to profit from your ideal market or niche. I'm going to literally help you find your dream clients here. And even if you don't know what niche or what market you're going to be targeting, that's okay too, because I'm going to help you do that. And I'm going to take you over my shoulder as I walk through an entire client discovery process. And listen, I could tell you over and over and over and over again how awesome you are and how I truly believe that you can go out and do this stuff. But it's not enough for me just to believe in you. You have to believe in yourself too. So week number 1, I'm also going to show you how to shift your thinking from a traditional employee to a high paid advisor, or coach, or consultant. And since now you actually believe what you're worth and the value of what you can provide, I'm also going to show you how to come up with your signature service. But if you don't want to reinvent the wheel, that's fine too, because I'm just going to hand you my consulting business as well. Whew. And I know that's a lot for just week number 1, but I told you, this is all about sprinting into success. And in order for you to do that, you're going to have to do some stuff that you haven't done before, some things that might make you a little bit uncomfortable so that you can get the results that you've never gotten before. Moving on, in week number 2, it's all about the clients, right? And all about getting those clients that you're going to be served. We'll start by showing you how you can attract unlimited 7-figure consulting clients. I'm going to show you how to have a constant stream of clients coming into your business, which is really like the lifeblood of a successful business, any successful business out there. I found over and over again that the students that I work with and the people who buy my trainings and things like that, the single biggest thing that they struggle with is actually getting clients to come to them. So week number 2 is going to be a big week for all of us. I'm going to show you how to find the red hot leads in the shortest amount of time possible. And remember earlier when I said only about 3% of the marketplace is looking for your services right now. Well, where are they hiding at, right? If you know 3% of the people, of business owners, are looking for consulting services, where are they and how do you find them? Most importantly, how do you get in front of them? I'll show you how to do that as well. Plus, this week I'm going to go and to really focus on the free methods of bringing in clients. It's certainly not going to be a way to completely fill your pipeline forever, but with the free methods, it's certainly a good start. All right. You shouldn't have to invest any money right up front to get the clients coming to you because you don't know how well your funnel is going to work out. You don't know if you have the right copy. You don't know a lot of things. There's a lot of things kind of up in the air. So you want to bring on some free client generation methods first. I'm going to show you how to do that in week number 2. Of course, I'm going to show you how to get your first client as well without having to sell anything. That means they come to you and they already want your services. And what I found is that a lot of people, by the time they learn how to do this stuff, they actually have clients coming to them. Okay. Finally, I'm going to show you how to automate this entire process for free lead generation campaigns so you can literally set it and forget it. Next, week number 3, it's all about what I'm really excited about. It's all about setting up that system for you, right? And this week, I'm going to literally hand you my consulting business and my entire client generation machine. And this is the real secret to my 7-figure consulting agency. This is the secret system or the secret sauce that makes $1 million business run. Weeks number 1 and 2 are really necessary to help you get started and get ready just for this 1 week alone. It's where you actually start building a pipeline of clients that are literally begging for your services. And as far as I know, there's not any other the people out there or the coaches or consultants out there who actually use this type of funnel the way that I use it, right? We're going to talk about the little psychological trick that I use, and that's responsible for closing, I'd probably say about 80% of the deals for me before I even talk to anybody. And the best part is, again, it has nothing to do with me. Without this in my funnel, I would still close deals for sure, but I don't know what the closing percentage is. Now I know that about every 4 to 5 deals that people that I actually talk to, they're going to want to become a client of mine. I'm going to show you how to create an offer they can't refuse. This is like reading the minds of your clients and the people that you're talking with, and it lets you know exactly what they want, what they can afford, and most importantly, if they're willing to pay you or not. And it's like reverse engineering the perfect offer for every single client that you talk to. I'm going to show you 3 ways to continuously bring in sales without having to ever speak to clients. And I know I said this was possible, but sometimes it surprises even me. It still amazes me when I get a notification from like PayPal or something that I got a $5,000 or a $15,000 payment or something like that, and I have absolutely no idea where it came from. It's a little scary too, right? You don't know if some guy was like walking down the street, tripped over something and found a business card and started Googling me and then found like some obscure page where I have a PayPal button for 15 grand and he decided to click on it and start working with me, right? But that stuff definitely happens, and it can happen for you too as long as you have the system up and running. You might have a little more traditional way of finding out about you, but it can certainly happen for you. I'm going to give you all my client getting swipes this week as well. Basically, you're going to get all the marketing material that I have for my consulting business and my coaching business, including any sales pages, scripts, follow-up emails, webinar trainings, phone scripts, offer sheets, whatever it is, you're going to get everything that I have. And this is something that I haven't seen people do. What you have to understand, all the business owners out there, the consulting people out there, they all have some funnel. They all have to have some funnel for bringing on these high-paying clients, right? But they don't want to give it to you. And that's going to change right now because I know that this system works for me getting clients. So I just want to give you everything that I have to make sure that you get a high-paying client within the next 30 days. Next, we're going to talk about your dream business model. This is where you actually start getting paid. Module number 4 is what I like to call the money module, right? I'm going to show you how to find the perfect customers who want to pay you so you can really focus in on just those people. I'm going to show you some advanced streams of income. So you don't just have to focus on working with clients one-on-one. If you don't want to do that, you can definitely bring on some other ways to make money. Again, getting some of those automated payments coming into your business, especially with the people who you don't want to work with necessarily one-on-one. I'm going to show you how to produce, show you how to provide the highest level consulting or coaching services possible, even if I don't even know what you're doing. And I'm going to show you how to manage your clients and make sure that they keep paying you every single month after month after month. After week number 4, and everything you have everything set up and you're starting to get some traffic, I'm going to show you how to start scaling your business. Those first 4 weeks are important. Like I said, some people, probably about a third of the people, I should say, actually, are going to start getting paid by week number 2. Everyone else is definitely going to have a check by week number 4. And after that, it's all about scaling your business. Okay. Once you get paid and you have 1 or 2 clients coming in and everything works, that's what I like to call the proof of concept. Step number 5 is start. It's all about growing your business as fast and as far as you can overnight. Okay. And that starts with some of my advanced strategies for growing your business, how to structure a company so that it's built to sell in the future. How you can make 6 or 7 figures a year is nice for sure. But I want to show you how you can build a company that you can sell maybe 5 years from now to one of your competitors. I interviewed an expert about this and he gave me some incredible insights about how anyone can change the makeup of their business so that it's ready to sell. You're also going to learn the true unlimited potential of your business and how to get past any limiting beliefs that you may have. Believe it or not, this is actually could be a scary time for business when it's time to start scaling their business, because in the first 4 weeks, when you just have 1 or 2 clients, that's like a fun little bonus, right? That's just like, hey, this stuff works. I could do this if I really wanted to, and I really kept with it. And it's kind of like you're playing with house money. But when you actually start scaling your business, and when it actually comes time to start having you and your family start depending on the income, it can be a little scary. So I'm going to show you how to get past all that and show you why you have unlimited potential to tap into that $183 billion potential for here on out and forever and ever. Okay. In fact, I'm even going to show you how my business went from 0 to $1 million in less than 2 years and how you can too. We're also going to get into pay traffic mastery, where I'll give you my 3 sources for building more traffic to your business. I'm going to give you all the email, all the marketing and all the different platforms that I use to get thousands of leads into my pipeline on demand. And finally, I'll show you how to tap into referral and JV partners and how to have multiple streams of leads coming into your business at all times. Finally, in week number 6, I'm going to show you how to build a monster sales force and outsourcing team. We'll start by focusing on how to bring on the top performers out there without having to waste time, because that's the absolute worst. Not only does it waste your time, but it can also set back projects. Some of you are out there thinking, well, maybe I'll just be a coach and a consultant. I can do all the work myself. I don't need building the outsourcers, and that's fine. But this training is going to still be here no matter what for you in the future if you did want to scale it out to maybe 10, 15, 20, 50 different clients or something like that. Because at that point, if you really want to tap into 7 figures, you're going to need a team around you. So we'll also start talking about some KPIs and some things that you should be looking at from your contract to make sure that your customers are still getting the highest level and the highest amount of value possible, and what you should be looking for to ensure that your employees are performing at their very best. And finally, I'm going to show you how to really leverage your time so you can get the most amount of profits while working the least amount of time as possible if you wanted to. So again, what you're going to get is you're going to get the 6-week hands-on training for a total value of $2,999. $4,997. Next, you're also going to get my 5-part no sales funnel. This is the automating deal closing asset that I was talking about. This is like having the Wolf of Wall Street literally cold calling for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It has one job, and that job is to close deals for you on autopilot. All you have to do is set it up once, and it runs forever, forcing business owners to give you money. Okay, for starters, you're going to get to steal my exact funnel. Okay, you can import my exact funnel directly onto your website within 2 minutes. Next, if that doesn't work for you, I will have my team install the exact funnel that I use on your preferred website, your preferred domain. You're also going to get a copy of my copy and paste client indoctrination series. So everything that I use to get clients to pay me, you're going to basically get access to that. And to be honest, some of the stuff that I'm going to give you in this no sales funnel, I don't even really feel comfortable talking about it, during a free training, because this is a system, right? And some of the stuff, especially the sales stuff that you don't have to do on your end, is pretty powerful. And some people can use that kind of for evil. So before I actually give all this stuff to you, I have to make sure that you're legitimate. I have to make sure that you really want to go out there and you really want to help people. And you're not just looking to, make thousands of dollars and leave people high and dry. So some of the stuff in this part of the sales funnel I think is going to really, really be surprising to you. And you're going to get access to all that as well for free. Okay. So what you're going to get is you're going to get my 6-week hands-on training valued at $2,997. And you're also going to get the setup for my 5-part no sales funnel valued at $1,497 for a total value of $494. Next, you're also going to get all my client getting swipes. These are the same exact swipes that I use and the same exact sales material that I use to build my 7-figure coaching and consulting business. You're going to get all my automated follow-up sequences. If you want to implement the same kind of strategies that I have and the same kind of stuff that I do for my clients, you're going to get to use my client testimonials. You're going to get to use all my proof. You're going to get to use all my white papers, my marketing materials, sales letter, done for you sales videos, webinar scripts, and much, much more. You're going to get all that today. So you're going to get the 6-week hands-on training valued at $2,997. You're going to get the 5-part no sales funnel valued at $1,497. You're also going to get to steal my client getting swipes valued at $997 for a total value of $5,491. You're also going to get my consulting services. Okay. Like I said earlier, your success is the most important thing to me. That means I need to have a vested interest in your business to ensure that you succeed. With that in mind, for the next 60 days, I'm going to work with everyone as if you were my personal consulting client. That means we're going to meet together every 2 weeks, and I'm going to help you with your clients. I'm going to help you with your business. I'm going to help you with your lead generation. I'm going to help you with whatever you need to make sure that once you hit the ground running and that you're getting the most results as possible over the next 30 days. You're also going to get access to my outsourcing team. And this is especially important for the people that want to just, resell services like SEO, PPC, Facebook marketing, or something like that. So instead of having to spend your time and going out and find all the people to do it for you, you can just work with the team that I trust to help you start building your business. Okay, so what you're going to get, again, is the 6-week hands-on training valued at $2,997. You're going to get the 5-part no sales funnel valued at $1,497. You're going to get to steal my client getting swipes valued at $997. You're also going to get my consulting services for the discounted rate of $3,500 for a total value of something that I accidentally skipped over. The next, you're going to get the client flood formula. Now, this is something that I'm really excited about. Initially, I didn't even know if I should include this. And Wednesday, what I did was I sent an email to everyone and asked if this was something that you would be interested in. And the reason why I wasn't sure if I should include this was because I was afraid that it would actually be too powerful. All right. Over the last 6 months over the last 6 weeks, I've been working with a new business partner, and he has literally changed my business forever. And this method for this week alone, not even this whole week, just Monday through Friday, because I haven't looked at it for today, but just for Monday through Friday, it has generated over 131 leads for my business. In fact, I haven't really checked it today because, I was on this call. So again, it's just Monday through Friday. Yeah. But by the end of this week, from this one campaign, I literally expect to have over 200 leads in my business. And remember earlier, I said if you had just 100 leads, then you never have to worry about money ever again. So initially, the reason why I wasn't sure if I should share this was because I thought it might be a little intimidating. If you're just starting out, especially, and you have 131 people who want your services, I thought it might be too intimidating. But I really appreciate all the response that everybody gave me back on Wednesday. And so you made it clear that you wanted to learn how we did this, right? And you're going to get access to this strategy too. I don't care if you're kind of just starting out and you're not sure about it. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to get those flood of clients coming to you. Okay. And I'm sure you've heard of like the fast lane, right? When you're driving down the highway or something, you can go in the fast lane or you can go in the slow lane. Well, I'm telling you right now, when you do this, this is like drinking water through a water hose. Okay. This is like taking a jet fighter to your success. And you can start with this as soon as you want to, really, because it takes nothing to get the campaign up and running. But again, I have to warn you. You will get clients who are willing to pay for your services after you do this campaign just one time. Each time I've done this campaign, I've had business owners that came to my website, sent a request, and wanted to pay me 5 figures. Okay, every single time without any exception. So if you're worried about that and you're worried about what to do for your clients, you may need a way to implement this, but you can always implement this at any time. Okay. And again, once you do this, you're going to have clients the same week that you do it. Plus, I'm going to give you direct access to my secret partner, the guy who I've been working with, the guy who's helped me set this up for my business. I'm going to give you access to him. You can work with him yourself as well. And what you may not know is that he was kind of like the inspiration behind Local Arbitrage Profits. So if you got my latest training and you know what kind of the system that I use and how powerful it is just for getting business owners to come to you. But what you don't know is that that's actually just Local Arbitrage Profits is actually just like, kind of like the light version of the system that we actually use right now. And you can just make one little simple adjustment to Local Arbitrage Profits and you can actually see 10 times the results using a completely free software. It's amazing. It has just gotten amazing results for my business. And plus as an added bonus, I'm going to actually run your first campaign for you. Okay. So once you're all ready to start this, whether it's today or tomorrow, once you're ready to start this, I'm going to actually run this first campaign for you so I can ensure that you're going to get the best results possible. So again, what you're going to get, the 6-week hands-on training valued at $2,997. You're going to get to set up the 5-part no sales funnel for $1,497. You're going to get to steal my client getting swipes valued at $997. You're going to get my consulting services valued at $3,500. Plus, I'm going to give you the client flood formula, say that 10 times fast, for a total value of $10,988. Okay. And, let me just bring up something for a second here. The 7-figure consultant training is going to be life-changing for everyone that signs up today. But I want to take a second just to talk to you about disposable income. And I want you to seriously think about this. All of us have disposable income. Most people get their paychecks each month, and a percentage of that goes towards movies, candies, magazines, Starbucks, a whole bunch of stuff that they're going to have today, and it's not going to be anything for them in the future. So what I'm going to be asking you today is that you take some of that and instead of blowing that disposable income on something that's temporary that you're going to lose, I'm actually going to make an investment in yourselves and into your business because the money that you put into this is ultimately going to turn into money for you and your family in the future and more disposable income. Right? I'm sure you've heard of Robert Kiyosaki. You've read his book, probably. Most of you probably read his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he talks about the differences between assets and liabilities. He said that the poor people, they buy liabilities. They buy cars, they buy boats, they buy things that you put your money into, and then that money disappears. What rich people do is they put their money into investments that actually turns into more money for them in the future. And all I'm doing here today is just asking you to divert some of that disposable income and invest it into this 7-figure consulting business of yours, as opposed to something that is not going to make you any money in the future. And what you see there on the screen is just some things that you might spend your money on right this month. Right. The first we have is a Herman Miller chair. It's a really comfortable chair. I gotta admit, it's a really comfortable chair. Next, you have an Apple iWatch. And we all know how Apple is. Whatever you buy today is going to be completely obsolete and out of date and out of fashion and out of everything a year from now because they're going to come out with the version 2.S or whatever. And then we also have just some creepy baby mask. I don't think the scissors are included, but either way, those are some of the things that you might invest some of your disposable income into this month, right? So let's talk about some of the bonus that you get with the 7-figure consulting training. Earlier, I told you about a case study when a student had just 100 leads, and that led to 10 deals for him, right? And that's absolutely great. But if you're like me, and since I know a lot of you who are on this training, you are like me, you're probably watching that and got a little crazy and you started thinking to yourself, well, man, if you can do all this great stuff with 100 leads, what happens when you have 1,000 leads? Does that mean you can get 100 deals? I know you were thinking that because I'd probably be thinking the same thing too. And with this bonus, you can certainly try. I've created a number of trainings that focus on how to get clients with cold email, and it's all great. But that's only one part of my client generation strategy. I also have lead generation campaigns running with LinkedIn, with Facebook, plus 2 automated lead generation campaigns that I do nothing with, and it still delivers leads to me every single day. Quite simply, this is the most up-to-date lead generation campaigns and strategies that you can run for your business in 2017. Each one of these lead generation courses alone could be sold for $1,997. But for the first 30 people that purchase today, you're going to get access to each. I'm going to take you over my shoulder for each one of these lead generation platforms, and you can see how to scale your business on demand. And to be honest, the bottom line is if you only got that one piece of information, you could go through my funnel, you can see all the things that I have to set up, you can test it out for yourself. But if you just got a consistent stream of business and leads coming to your business, if you could tap into those unlimited leads, if that's all I gave you, it would still be worth the price of the entire training. But you're going to get that plus a lot more. So in all, what you're getting is the 6-week hands-on training valued at $2,997. You're going to get this 5-part no sales funnel valued at $1,497. You're going to get to Still My Client Getting Swipes valued at $997. You're going to get my consulting services valued at $3,500. You're going to get the client flood formula, which is going to bring you a huge amount of leads, more leads than you can possibly handle right away. I'm going to give you bonus number 1, my unlimited leads, for a total value of $12,985. And the good thing about your money is, let's be honest, every single month, every single 2 weeks, you're going to get a paycheck or something like that, right? The cool thing is about it is that you go out, you pay your bills, you buy your groceries, you have your disposable income, right? And you spend that money and that money disappears. Then what happens 2 weeks or a month later? You get paid again, and that money simply replenishes itself. The cool thing about money is that it's always doing that. It's always replenishing. So every 2 weeks, it comes back again. Every 2 weeks, it comes back again. Every 2 weeks, it comes back again, and it keeps coming back over and over, right? But let me ask you this question. We talked about how important your time is. Does your time ever come back? When you miss a daughter's soccer game because you were at the office, do you get that time back? No, it doesn't. It's weird, right? Money replenishes itself every 2 weeks or every month, but your time never comes back. So what I'm asking you to do is take an asset, take a resource that replenishes itself often, whenever it's, generally about the same amount of time every single time. It's going to come back to you. You're going to get that money back every 2 weeks, and no investment in something that's going to save you a ton of time and make you a whole lot of money in the future. Because you can learn this stuff on your own. You can go figure it all out the hard way like I did. You can go on trying to sell and not closing any deals because you have no authority or you have no experience. You can do all that stuff. I'm just trying to save you a bunch of time. And because you can't get any of your time back, I'm asking you to take money, which is replenishable, use it to buy your freedom. That freedom that you said you wanted earlier. And in 2 weeks from now, you're going to have that money back anyway. So why not give it a shot? Yes, you can try. You can have your own 7-figure consulting business and your money is going to be back in 2 weeks. It keeps coming back like clockwork. That's how it works. Even if you lose your job, guess what? The government's going to step in and give you some of that money back. All right? So I'm also going to throw in bonus number 2 is my complete outsourcing guide. Over the years, I've worked with literally hundreds of thousands of different outsourcers. And if you truly want a turnkey business where you can just sit back, focus on doing the things that you actually love to do instead of being trapped by your business, you're going to need to work with outsourcers. So here's just a preview of what you're going to get. First, you're going to get the right to work with all my outsourcers, and they can handle all your services. Next, I'm going to show you how to find the right outsourcers to do all the stuff for you, so you don't even have to learn how to do it. You can just give it to somebody else. Finally, how to find the right people to handle like the small tasks like emails and scheduling and things like that. What all goes into making sure that they're the right person. Plus, as an added bonus, again, I'm going to give you access to my team. And so that if you want to help with any of the technical stuff and you don't know where to start, you can just work with the people that I trust. Again, this bonus alone is worth $997 and hours upon hours of your time, because you don't have to waste any of it going to find these people for yourself, because you know that you don't have to waste any time building a team. You can just use my team. And what you really have to do, and what I really want to ask you all to do today, is break old habits. Okay. Let me ask you a question. You've probably been on these type of webinars in the past, right? I'm assuming we all have. And you get excited, you get all fired up, and then what happens the next day? Probably nothing for most of you. And it's sad because I showed you guys the exact system that I'm using right now to get a consistent flow of high-paying clients on complete autopilot and how to build a seven-figure consulting business. But you're going to come back tomorrow and you're not going to do anything. And the reason why is because of old habits. They're hard to break. You're going to go back to the office or to whatever you're doing, and the next day, and you're going to get the same exact, you're going to have the same exact habits. The only way that you're really going to have a successful business is if we figure out a way to break the habits that you have right now. The way you're going to break those habits is by investing in the 6-week training. Now, I can come on here and I can help you with all the stuff and give you all the tools that you need to break your habits so that you can become a successful business owner. But if you don't do that, you're going to just slide back into the same results and the same exact old habits and be exactly where you are. So a year from now, you're not going to be in any different place. You're going to have the same results that you've always gotten. While the people who do sign up and who do take action and who do break those habits, they're going to get a piece of that $183 billion industry. Everything we did for the past hour and 42 minutes can be completely useless because you go back to your old habits. So the only way to break those habits is to invest today into the 7-figure consulting training. Now once you have the tools to break those habits, you're going to be able to take everything that you do to the next level. So here's what you're going to get again. You're going to get the 6-week hands-on training. You're going to get the 5-part no sales funnel valued at $1,497. You're going to get to Steal My Client Getting Swipes valued at $997. You're going to get my consulting services valued at $3,500. Plus, you're going to get my client flood formula valued at $1,997. You're also going to get bonus number 1, unlimited leads valued at $1,997. Plus bonus number 2, my complete outsourcing guide valued at $997 for a total value of $11,985. And for the last 90 minutes or so, we're at 143 here. So for the last 90 minutes or so, I've given you a ton of information, but as you already know, information alone is not enough and it's not going to get you to where you want to go, right? How many of you listening right now, this is again a serious question, how many of you listening right now know that you have more information than what your income actually reflects, right? So if you could use all the stuff that you know about marketing, about making money online, if you could actually implement all that stuff, you know that you would be making more money than you can right now. This is no different. Everything that you learn here tonight, it's just going to be more information. But you need the 6-week, 7-figure. You need the 6-week, 7-figure consultant training, because that's what's going to help you take you all the information that you know to the next level, and that's what's going to help you start getting these high-paying consulting clients coming to you. So I can get my hands on you, and I can work with you, and I can mold you, and I can help guarantee your success. In fact, one of the ways I'm going to do that is I'm going to actually close your first deal for you. Now, I can only do this for a few people who sign up for today, but I want to actually close your very first deal. I told you that once you get this system up and running, you will have clients literally waiting for the chance to work for you. But unfortunately, I have that same problem. And I say unfortunately because I cannot possibly work with all the business owners who want my services. Like I said, I'd be working 90 hours per week or per month or more. And that's simply not the type of lifestyle that I want to live. So I have all these business owners who are just waiting in the pipeline to work with me and who want my consulting services. but I can't work with them. So what do I do with them? Right? Again, this is only for 10 people, but if you're willing to sign up today and you're willing to take the leap and you're willing to invest in this training, then if 30 days from now you still don't have the clients that you want and you still don't have the business that you want, I will literally give you one of the business owners who are waiting to work for me. I will give them to you. I'll do the call for you and I'll point them in your direction so you can start working with them immediately. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to keep working with you for the first 10 people to sign up. I'm going to keep working with you until you do have the business that you always wanted. You don't have to do anything for these clients, because all these clients are coming to work with me. So all I'm going to do is just basically be a bridge to help you close that very first deal. And you get to keep all the money and all the future revenue. So with that, you have two options. All right. People in life, they can have one or two things. They can either have money or they can have excuses. That's it. All right. And so right now, option number one is you can sign up and you can bring in a consistent flow of high-paying clients on complete autopilot and build a seven-figure consulting business. You can get business owners coming to you and begging for your services over and over and over and over again. Or option number two, you can come up with some excuse why you couldn't afford it, why you couldn't do it this time, why things will be different next time, why you don't have enough time, whatever the excuse might be today. And that's fine. But the reality is you can't have both. You can't have the money, you can't have the success, and you can't have the excuses at the same time. It just doesn't work out that way. So you've got to decide right now what you want. Do you want the money or do you want the excuses? And I don't know about you, but I'd rather have the money every single time. So that's why you need to go out there and you need to invest into this seven-figure consultant training today. So again, here's all what you get. You get the 6-week hands-on training valued at $2,997. You get to set up the 5-part no sales funnel valued at $1,497. You get to steal my clients getting swipes valued at $997. You get my consulting services valued at $3,500. You get the client flood formula valued at $1,997. You get bonus number one, unlimited leads valued at $1,997. You get bonus number two, the complete outsourcing guide valued at $997. You get bonus number three, and where I will close the very first deal for you for a total value of $15,979. And who's this good for? It's going to be good for the complete beginner, somebody who's just maybe starting out in consulting or coaching and they don't know exactly what to do, because I'm going to actually give you my business. It's also going to be good for the intermediate people, maybe the people who've closed some deals. They're a little bit more comfortable with selling. I'm going to show you how to get that consistent stream of businesses. And then finally, it's also going to be good for the seasoned vets out there, for the people who have a thriving business, who have leads coming in all the time, and for people who are really just ready for exponential growth in their business. All right. And there's really two types of people who are watching this webinar right now. The first kind is the guy on the left, the tire kicker, the guy who just wants to test the waters. They come on to see what this stuff is all about, and they really don't want to do anything. The second on the right is the action taker. And I told you I only wanted the action takers on the call earlier in this webinar, right? Those are the people who recognize a golden opportunity when they see it, and they get started working right away. They're the ones that have a successful business, and they're getting clients, and they're going to have the dream business that they've always wanted. Those are the only two types of people out there. And I only want to work with the person on the right. So I ask you, are you the business owner on the right, or are you the business owner on the left? If you're the business owner on the right, then I want you to say goodbye right now. Say goodbye to having to worry about not having clients, to not having a business, to not being successful online. Say goodbye to hearing no on the phone from the business owner. Say goodbye to cold calling. Say goodbye to chasing the clients. Say goodbye to not being able to close deals because you don't have enough authority or enough experience, or you don't have the case studies, or you don't know what to do. Say goodbye to all that stuff. If you're the business owner on the right, if you're the action taker, if you're the type of person who wants to really be successful and start building a seven-figure business, then say goodbye to all that stuff. Because if you're still on this call with me, then I know you're like me, and I know you want to finally have the business that you've always dreamed of. And if so, you're going to be able to recognize that opportunity when you see it to take it. So you made the decision to invest in yourself and to invest into the seven-figure consulting training right now, then you can say goodbye to all that stuff forever that's been stopping you and holding you back in the past. If you do sign up today, you also get my no questions asked money back guarantee. If you don't like it for any reason, I don't care if it's 29 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes from now, from the moment that you sign up, just let me know and we'll give you a full money back guarantee and we'll just simply part as friends. Plus, you get to keep all my training and all the bonuses completely for free. And if you were able to do all this stuff, what would something like this mean for you? What would you be willing to pay for something like this? Now, if I asked you right now to pay $15,000 for the 7-figure consulting, that'd be a pretty good deal, right? Especially if you just did the bare minimum. Remember earlier when we went through the numbers? I showed you how just one client that's willing to pay you $2,000 per month is worth over $23,000 for the next 12 months. So that's a 50% ROI. Now, if you got more than one client, then you're just in the profit, right? You're just in the black. Think about this way. If I ask you right now to pay $10,000 and then within the next 30 days, you got just one high paying client for $10,000, would that make sense? Would that be a good deal? Of course it would, because every dollar that you got paid after that one client in month number 1 will be pure profit. So it will be exponential profits for you. And again, you get all that when you sign up today. You're going to get the 6-week hands-on training for $2,997. You're going to get to set up my 5-part no sales funnel valued at $1,497. You're going to get to steal my client getting swipes valued at $997. You're going to get my consulting services valued at $3,500. You're going to get my client flood formula valued at $1,997. You're going to get bonus number 1, unlimited leads, valued at $1,997. You're going to get bonus number 2, the complete outsourcing guide, valued at $997. You're going to get bonus number 3. I'm going to actually get in there, work with you, and close your first deal for you if you want me to, for the first 10 people, for a total value of $15,979. Now, what you have to understand is I'm nothing special. I personally was not any good at selling, and I still to this day don't like cold calling. I don't have a degree from Harvard Business School of Consulting or anything like that. I just spent years of trial and error trying to discover the things that actually works and are super, super easy. And you can do it. You can either go out and do it yourself, do it the hard way, figure it all out for yourself, and be here 7 years from now. And sure, that works. Or you can just plug it all, everything that I have found myself, and you can just plug it into your business, and it's pretty awesome that way. I'm just a normal guy like you. And if I can do it, I promise you that you can do it as well. And 6 weeks from now, you will have this as a reality too. So obviously, I'm not going to charge you $10,000 for this, but even if I did, it would still be a great deal. And I'm not going to charge you anything close to that. I'm not even going to charge you the $1,997 that I'm going to be charging to the general public when this is released. But because you're a special and because you joined me today and you went through all the trials and tribulations that I had getting this training set off, I'm going to actually let you in today and get started now for just one payment of $497 or 2 payments of $297. All you have to do is just go to ppc.clickfunnels.com/clients on demand and you can get started. And again, you'll have 2 buttons on there and you can just figure out the one that works best for you. All right. Now, you probably realized I had 2 options when I was putting together this 6-week training and trying to figure out the price. The first one was I can make it really cheap, right? I can charge like $97 and everyone could afford it. And we could go on to sell it to a ton of people and everyone would have access to it. And that was an option. All right. But the problem with that is that with that one option, I can't put in the time or the effort that's really necessary or the resources that's needed to actually guarantee your success. So instead of selling 10,000 people at like $97, what I decided to do is to help you the most because I wanted to give you my personal attention. I just decided to charge a lot more. And that's why you saw it for $497. And that just justifies me spending more time and more effort to get you these results, to get you those 5 high-paying clients within the next 30 days. And again, I'm guessing for most of you watching, you probably rather have me and have a little bit more time with me and have a little bit more effort for me. And so that's why I decided to charge what I'm selling for, okay? So again, what you're going to get is you're going to get the 6-week hands-on training valued at $2,997. You're going to get the 5-part no sales funnel valued at $1,497. You're going to get to Steal My Client Getting Swipes valued at $997. You're going to get my consulting services valued at $3,500. Also, you're going to get the Client Flood Formula valued at $1,997. Bonus number 1, Unlimited Leads valued at $1,997. Bonus number 2, the Complete Outsourcing Guide valued at $997. And bonus number 3, I will actually close your first deal for you, valued at $1,997 for a total value of $15,979. But you can go to ppc.clickfunnels.com/COD and get signed up today for just one payment of $497 or 2 payments of $297. Whew. So right now you have no idea how to get high paying clients, right? Let's just be honest. Without investing hours in cold calling or cold emailing and having to be all salesy, or maybe you just don't even know how to go out and get started, right? Whatever it is for you, you don't know how to close the deals, right? And that's why you're here today. But after you invest in a 7-figure consultant, all your problems are gone. They evaporate. And you can concentrate on servicing and delivering high value to your paying clients, and while those clients come to you on complete autopilot. And that's the power of this 6-week training and the 7-figure consultant. That's what you're going to be able to do. Kind of skipped that slide, but that's okay. So get started now for just $497 or 2 payments of $297. You can go to ppc.clickfunnels.com/clients-on-demand. And again, what you're going to get is all listed there. And really, the real question is, what's it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check all this out, right? And even if this does half of what I claimed on today's webinar, it's going to pay for itself 10 times over again, and you're going to have your first clients coming to you, right? And even if you don't, you always have the 30-day money-back guarantee. Other opportunities like this can take 3 to 5 years to get your initial investment back, but you can get 10 times back that with your very first sale. And some people might be out there thinking that, money is bad, right? They look at this as a bad thing, going out after the money, trying to close deals and get clients to pay you $5,000 or $10,000, even though, you don't have necessarily a ton of experience. But that's not true at all. Money is just a tool for exchange. You spend money right now to get something bigger in return. It's a tool for exchange. That's it. You go to the grocery store, you give them money, and they give you food. You're exchanging stuff, right? Just little green pieces of paper for, I don't know, whatever you like to buy at the grocery store. I think I got some almond milk this morning. So it's just an exchange of stuff. Right now I'm just asking you to exchange some of that stuff for the best damn 6-week coaching for building a 7-figure consulting business that you've ever seen. And since it's going to be worth a whole lot more than what I'm asking you in return, then I think it's a pretty fair trade. So let me show you what's going to actually happen once you head over to ppc.clickfunnels.com/COD. You're going to see a page that looks like this. And then if you click the button, those are 2 different buttons. So whichever one you decide to do, whether you decide to get signed up today for $497, or if you decide to get signed up today for $297, just click the buttons and you'll have instant access to the welcome training, and you should get instant access to the members area. Okay. And you can get signed up whenever you're ready. And that's all. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move this to the side, and hopefully I won't mess anything up. So good so far. And what we're going to do now is we're going to open it up for Q&A. I am going to be answering the questions in the order that they were received. So if you're asking a question like right this second, then I might not get to it for a little while, but I promise you, if you stay on the call, then I will answer your question. And I will make sure that I get to everybody who had a question or who was asked a question about this training. If you have any questions about anything, just please let me know, and we can go ahead and get started. Let me just type in here. I want to make sure that you have where you can go to get signed up for the training. So I'm just going to type that into the box here, and hopefully this works, because I'm doing this on the fly. And remember, there's only going to be a certain number. I'm sure if you have gone over there and you've already picked it up, just go ahead and type in the questions box so I can kind of keep track of all the people who were able to sign up and get started. There's only going to be 30 spots available. So you should see that on the page when you go there. And yeah, we will get started on the Q&A. Only 30 spots available. Okay. Oh, and I just accidentally ruined that. So let me go ahead and click over here. Charlie said he signed up. Hey, Charlie, great to have you on board. I look forward to working with you. Michelle says she signed up. Sue says, sweet, she's in. Thank you all so much. And I look forward to working with all of you. Stacy says, if we get a client by week number 2 or 4, that would be awesome. But you didn't go over building a team until week number 6. How do we provide the services? Stacy, you're going to get everything that I do. So you don't have to worry about providing the services because very, very shortly after we get started, I'm going to give you, I think by week number 2 or week number 3, you actually get everything that I do. And also in week number 1, we're going to be going over how to build your signature service. Okay. Is this the 3 to 5 clients per day or per month that you emailed us about? Scott. So Scott, what I emailed you about on Wednesday night was my client flood formula. And what the client flood formula does is it instantly fills your pipeline. Like I said, I checked with Sharif today, and I actually have 130. I checked with them Friday. I have 131 leads from the campaign that we started last Monday or this past Monday. So that's just leads into your pipeline. How many deals you close per day is completely up to you. Like personally, I like to schedule my sales calls or the calls where I actually get paid from the business owners on Thursdays. So what happens is Thursdays are the days that I'm making money, but that's why I can get $38,000 in one day, because if I have 4 or 5 sales calls lined up on that day, then that's going to be, 4 out of the 5 deals that I'm going to close or whatever the numbers is. That's how many I'm going to do. I got to leave for my job in a few minutes right now. Can I get started with the program? Hey, Mark. Everybody, I'm going to be sending a replay of this, and anybody can just go ahead and get started if they get signed up today, and you're going to get everything is going to get sent to you automatically. Michelle says, this is what I want, the whole system. Well, I'm excited that I was able to share this system with you after so much trial and error and getting this webinar set up and running. This is the whole system. Like I said, there's lots of really successful people out there who are doing lots of really great stuff with coaching and consulting. Obviously, since it's a $183 billion per year business, Michelle, but I have never seen somebody who's actually just willing to give it all to you and let you start running with it. And the reason that I'm doing it, because I truly believe in abundance. And, I know that I personally cannot service all. I can't deliver $183 billion worth of goods and services myself or advice myself. So there's plenty out there for everybody. And this stuff works. And I'm really passionate about helping other people and really showing other people that, hey, like if you just follow something that's proven and something that's worked, then you're going to get the results too. Michelle says, that's number one, that's my number one, helping the business owners. Yeah. And see, Michelle, here's the thing. What most people don't understand is that the business owners will actually tell you what they need help with if you know how to listen correctly. Most people go into it and they say, oh, I want to provide SEO services, and SEO services are so great because that's what I do. But maybe the business owner doesn't want to do SEO. So you're not really servicing the business owner and providing as much value as if that's not what they need or what they want. Now, sometimes you do have to tell them what they need, and it might not necessarily be what they think that they need, but I'm going to give you a system that's proven to work for the business owners. Exactly how I have a system for getting business owners into my business, I have a system that is absolutely proven to work to increase and get amazing results with the business owners. I'll give you a quick rundown. First, it starts with making sure they have the right strategy. Whatever they're doing, I focus mostly on their marketing. This is not like some business coaching. I know some people do that. I'm not one of them because I don't like going in and having to fire people. So I focus mostly on their marketing, but with their marketing, they have to have a strategy. Okay. And just like you, when you're trying to bring on consulting clients, what do you need? You need a system that's going to bring people in, right? They need the same thing. You need to make sure that they have a system that's going to convert their advertising into actual dollars and cents into their business. You're going to need to be able to track that stuff. You're going to need to be able to improve that stuff. So, and you can learn about this all in the white paper that I give to the business owners because it really lays it out all in front of them. And then Michelle, as I'm working with you over the next 60 days as my consulting client, I'm going to actually be in there and I'm going to show you how to do this for you, the business owners. And I'm going to show everyone how to do this for them. And then once you actually do start closing those deals, because I know for a fact everybody's going to close a deal within the next 30 days. Once you do start closing those deals and you have a business owner, Michelle, you can come to me. You can say, hey, Cameron, this is the business owner who I got to sign up today. This is their business. This is their website. This is what they're doing for marketing. This is the form that they filled out. How can we help them? And since I'm going to be there with you, Michelle, I'm going to be able to say, okay, Michelle, this is what I would do for them. Let's talk through this. This is what I would do for them. And the same goes for the clients that I give you. Maybe if I close a deal for you, Michelle, I'm going to say, hey, Michelle, we got a good business here. They're spending maybe $10,000 per month in advertising, and they're wasting it all on yellow ads, yellow pages, because they're not getting anything from that. So I'm definitely going to be helping you with that. I got another question here, or really a comment that says, I definitely have some limiting beliefs. And once you get past those limiting beliefs, limiting beliefs was never really something that I had as far as being able to provide a great service. But I've had other limiting beliefs about things. Like when I first started, I thought I was too young. I thought I was too inexperienced. So I have I had to get past some limiting beliefs like that as well, but I'm going to give you training and we're going to get blasted through that in week number 1. Sue says she needs that and she would implement it as well. Can we use a client flood and outsource through your outsourcing people? Yeah. Tamara says, Tamara, I'm going to actually give you the guy who I got started with this, with the client flood formula. I'm going to actually connect with him, and everybody who signs up, I told you I'm going to run that first campaign for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you connect with him. His name's Sharif. I'm going to let you connect with Sharif. And then once you do, I'm going to run the campaign for me, because I already work with him every single month. He run these campaigns for me every single week, actually, because I'm actually using his services right now for more automated income and not necessarily coaching clients. Because the first time I worked with them, I was like, oh, let's try this out. And when I did that, unfortunately, I had hundreds of business owners who were trying to work with me, and I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't do it. I was like, I can't do it that way again, because it's just too many clients. So, I would definitely, I'm going to run that first campaign for you, Tamara. And then once you have that campaign up and running, then you can work with him with some more ongoing basis, because I definitely recommend. But me personally, I just have him working for me right now, kind of autopilot. So I already have campaigns set up with him that are ready to run. And I'm simply going to allocate that for the people who sign up with this today. She says, what's up with the scary scissors boy? I don't know. I kind of like that picture. Saw somebody else do that, and I was like, hey, I want to do that too. But that's just disposable income. Like I said in the training, you're going to have disposable income. It's going to be here today, gone tomorrow. So why not invest that into your business and invest that into building a really successful business? Okay. Mike says, how do you read the mind of the business owners and give them exactly what they want every single time? Like I was just saying, Mike, what happens is that these business owners, they're thinking to themselves what they expect you to do. And as long as you can have a conversation with them, and as long as you do the conversation the correct way, you can really find out exactly what they want. You can really find out exactly what you can do for them. Like I said earlier, sometimes I don't work with business owners, not because they're not willing to pay me, but if some guy is like saying like, oh no, we got to go get this billboard. I have a great deal on a billboard, and that's what I want you to do. Help me get like the perfect billboard design. I'm personally not going to work with that guy, because I don't, billboards aren't that really great. I'm not one into quote unquote branding. So, you really have to have a conversation with them, or have somebody have a conversation with them. You can find out a lot of information before they even talk to you. I use actually somebody else to do this all for me, so I can really find out exactly what they want, and I can go in armed to give them the perfect kind of service. And what I like to do, Mike, personally, is I like to mold what they want around what I can do for them, and to provide the highest level of value possible. And that's just me personally. But again, once you get signed up and we can get talking about that, we'll definitely dive more into that later on. Okay. Suze, Robert says, do or do not, there is no try. That is one of the greatest quotes of all time. I wish I was Yoda. Okay. Looks like Tom was really excited about getting signed up. Sue says, you rock too, Sue. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. The link is on the screen. Hopefully, everybody, if you have any trouble, it doesn't look like anybody's had any trouble yet. You can get signed up at ppc.clickfunnels.cod. Okay, it looks like I answered that question already. When is it, Robert? The second payment is going to be due 30 days from now. So you get signed up today, and your first payment of $297 is due, and then 30 days from now it's due again. Everybody gets a full 30-day money back guarantee. And now, congratulations to the people who signed up, because I think I'm pretty much not caught up yet, but I'm back at the point where I ended the webinar. Let me just say this. For everybody who signs up, like I said, I want to work with somebody on a one-on-one basis. I want to get a client. I want to get a client who is going to really take this to the next level. And I want to get a student. And I want to work with that person. Even if you're starting from complete zero, you don't have anything set up, and you just says, Cameron, I'm a complete noob. Take me and mold me and do what you want with me in a completely appropriate way. I just said that, and as I was saying it, I was like, hey, I want to take that. Anyways, so what I want to do is, for everybody who signs up, and I can't do this for everybody because I do have a business and I do travel around a lot, and I do a lot of things. I'm actually kind of considering a move out to the West Coast or somewhere new pretty soon here. So I can't do this for everyone. And everybody who's working with me for the next 60 days, I'm going to be your consultant. I'm going to be fully vested in your business. But I also want to take one person. And for somebody who signs up today, not only are you going to get everything that we talked about, but I'm also going to work with you for an additional 12 months absolutely for free. And why am I doing that? Because it's important to me that people understand how powerful this type of stuff is. It really is. And in order for me to show you that, I would like to take somebody completely from scratch. And I want to show you, I want to have one of those, I want to have one of those case studies that every time somebody sees it, they can just say, hey, this stuff works. I know it works because it worked for Sue, or it worked for Ray, or it worked for Anthony, it worked for Charlie, it worked for Tom, it worked for Michelle, it worked for Tamara, it worked for Robert, it worked for Stacy, because this stuff works. And so with that in mind, what I decided to do was I decided to take one person who signs up with us, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the person with the best results. It doesn't have to be the person who has the most stuff. It just has to be somebody who's willing to take action, who's willing to invest in their business, who's ready to put the time and the effort and the energy necessary to get the results that they want. And I'm going to take somebody out of the group who signs up today, and I'm going to work with you for the next 12 months. And I promise this is not some type of sales thing. This is not some type of pitch to get more people to sign up. I can only do this for one person. 12 months is a big investment into your success. Okay. And it's going to be absolutely for free. Okay. You can talk to me. I'll even give you my personal cell phone number, which I don't even do for my clients who pay me right now, but you can communicate with me when you have new problems and new things come up, because like I said, I've been doing this for 7 years. So sometimes I get a little far away from where I started at. And I want to make sure that doesn't happen. So with somebody who signs up today, and again, I can only do this for one person, but I'm going to work with you for 1 year, absolutely for free. Okay. And if you sign up today, that's the only way you're going to be eligible. But if you sign up and you get in the members, I won't be able to pick somebody until the end of the 6 weeks, because I have to make sure I have to pick somebody who's actually implementing the things and getting the results, and they're active and things like that. But when I do, there's going to be somebody who I work with for a whole year for free, just so I can remember, and I can work side by side with somebody who's maybe just starting out, or who's maybe at the beginning of their journey to building a 7-figure consulting business. So I can remember again what it's like, because it's really important to me. And most importantly, it's going to be life-changing for somebody. And I don't know how often I will get the chance to really go in and change somebody's life. So that's what I want to do. And I'm going to show you how to do that. There's also a couple unannounced bonuses that I didn't mention on this training, because some of the stuff is really powerful and I just don't always feel like sharing it during free calls. So you're going to have another opportunity. I'm actually going to show you, anybody who wants to try it out, I'm going to show you how to get started right now and how to make up to $10,000 in the next 30 days. One of the ways that I would do, and to be honest, it has nothing to do with consulting necessarily, but it can bring you in as easily, let's see, based on the last one that I did, about $12,000. and money into your PayPal account. So you're going to get access to that too once you get signed up. And you'll be able to see all that stuff once you hit the members area. Frankie, you can email me about your question that you asked a little while ago. I'm not sure exactly what the time was, but you can email me that. Sue says one question. Yep. I purchased. Anthony says, pick me. When does the class start? Great question, Amy. The first training is going to be available on Wednesday. So this Wednesday, I'm not sure what the date is, but the next Wednesday from today. So the first Wednesday after the Super Bowl, I don't know how else to describe it. I don't have the exact date in front of me. The class is going to get started. We're going to have a free training, or the first of the 6-week training module. And then what we'll also do is you'll be able to get access to like the different smaller training. What I did, I have one big training that we're going to go over. We're going to do live. You're going to ask your general questions, and then I'm going to have different stuff that, like I said, I want to set up basically a consulting business, like a new consulting agency with you at the same time, so you can see exactly what it's like. So there's be lots of like smaller videos where you can watch over my shoulder and watch me as I do stuff. Debbie says I'm in. Ray says he's in there as well. Really appreciate you signing up. Really looking forward to this journey with you all. I truly am, and I'm really, really excited about, the future. Very few times, like I was talking about during the trainings, I remember when I was actually that last call or not the last call, but the meeting that I had with the limousine company, and just thinking how messed up everything was. But now when I look back at that day, it's really a day where everything kind of changed for me. And so another thing that's really important for me, and I didn't share this during the presentation or whatever, quote unquote, but one thing that's really important for me is that all of you look back at this time and you say, wow, like, if you go to ppc.clickfunnels, you'll see one of my coaching students on the page, and you'll kind of hear his story. He just sent me a Skype the other day. He was on vacation too. He told me that he got his first deal, and he was like, yep, I was out of there. So you'll read about his story. If you go to ppc.clickfunnels and just scroll down, you'll be able to read his story. And what happened with him was he was actually signed up, and he just told me the other day when he saw my emails about this stuff, he was like, hey, you're bringing some people and you're finally going to share some of this stuff, huh? And I was like, yeah, I think it's about time and things like that. And he was like, well, that's great. I'm here in Jamaica now. So if you ever need a testimonial from me, just let me know. And so I just copied and pasted it right from there. But one of the things that he shared with me, is really how much things have changed for him since then. And so everybody who signs up, even if I don't work with you necessarily for the entire 12 months, everybody who signs up, I really want you to look back at this day on February the 4th, as a day that everything changed for yourself and for your business. So that's kind of like one of the goals that I have for myself, because you can't just make it all monetary. It's not just about how much money I can make, because I can make money doing other things. It's always about how much value I can deliver. And if I can make everybody who signs up today look back at this day, February 4th, 2017, as a day that they it was the first day for them to build a successful consulting business, something else that's really, really important for me. How long does the average client stay? How do you keep getting new clients? Well, the way I keep getting new clients is a bunch of things that we'll talk about. It all depends, Scott, on what you want to set up with your business. For example, if you want to use like a quick little segmentation sale for doing a new website for them for $27, something that just blows them away or something like that, then you can do that. And you can just get a whole bunch of people in that pipeline. I'll show you different models to use. I use one in particular just because it works best for me, but that doesn't mean it's going to necessarily work best for you, Scott. I just know the most effective models out there for getting consulting clients. So, and all you have to do, Scott, is like I said in the presentation, just keep sending traffic to your funnel once you figure out what works best for you. Stacy says, will you be picking one of us for your case study? I'm your girl. Absolutely. Somebody who's in the course, you're going to get picked for my case study. And you're going to be wanting to do live videos for me to tell everybody how awesome I am. Michelle says, do I have to buy ClickFunnels to import one of your funnels? Yes, you do, Michelle. But it's not necessary. And I'll show you how we can get around that in the training. But ClickFunnels is definitely what I use. It's recommended. I think it's great. It's a lot better than Webinar Jam. But if that's something that you're not interested in doing, then I can show you some other ways to do that. I built a website that closes the deal for me. There's also a really new, pretty cool software out there right now that's available that you can use as well. We'll get into more of the details once we actually get into the training. Except for the sales funnel, it sounds very similar to John. It's not like that. This 2 years ago was a long time ago, John. And what I've learned in these last 2 years about how to get the biggest results. John, for the question that you asked about ASM, one of the things that I do to get clients is still based off of that, to be honest. But I actually don't do SEO anymore. SEO is one of those things that kind of just burnt me out. I didn't know why, but about a year ago, I was just feeling kind of like burnt out and like, yeah. And it was because of SEO. SEO is still great. If you want to resell services, by all means, do it. I just found that I like working with the business owners who were paying me 10 grand a month a lot more than I would like the business owners who were paying me 2 grand a month. So it's not that anymore. I do a lot more of the consulting end of it now, John. And a lot of the funnels that I work with focus a lot more on that. But if you guys want to build a funnel, for example, I was talking with one of my coaching clients about a week and a half ago, and all he wants to do is resell services. So that's completely different than like a consulting model, but you can still build that up as much as you want to. Cassandra asked a really good question, and I should have said this. You can contact my support email, Cassandra. She says, how do I contact you regarding the purchase? Contact my support email at mktg with Cameron@gmail.com. I'm going to be hopping on there as soon as this is over. Kirk and I are going to be working on it. Kirk was working on the emails all night. So I'm going to be in there as well to make sure that I can help everybody. Tamara says she's in. When does the training begin? She says, I would like to work with you. C says she's in. I'm excited. I'm excited to have you on board as well. Ted says, what are the costs for a newbie to get set up? Listen, here's the thing. I'm going to set up your first campaign for you. Even if you don't want to do something like ClickFunnels or something like that, I'm still going to show you how you can get your entire website. I have a couple of templates that I can just copy over to you, even if you don't want to use ClickFunnels. I recommend you do ClickFunnels because I just personally think ClickFunnels is awesome. But if you're completely starting from scratch, you're going to need a website and you're going to need a hosting. Most of you, I'm assuming, already have stuff like that. So you can do that. If you have a website and hosting, to be honest, that's all you're going to need, because like the client flood formula, if you remember, Ted, I told you I'm going to run that first campaign for you. Okay. So you don't even have to worry about that. And with that one campaign, it's going to be more than enough leads in your pipeline to close a deal. So once you do that, after that, you will definitely want to reinvest in your business. I told you one of the 6 weeks, I'm going to get into some of the real business building stuff, and investing back in your business is one of those things. So like, let's say you close your first deal and maybe you just start off and you're just nervous about getting started, Ted, and you just want to start off with like $1,500 per month client. And whether you close that deal, whether I close that deal for you, after that first client, Ted, what's going to happen is maybe you take $500 and you invest it in like ClickFunnels. Maybe you do some other stuff for outsourcers so that you can get more leads into your pipeline, some stuff like that. We'll talk about all that important business building stuff once we get in there. But if you just want to know the flat out cost to get started, all you're going to absolutely need is a website, a hosting, and a domain and a website. So I think if you search for like a GoDaddy coupon, just send me an email and I'll show you how to do it. If you search for like a GoDaddy coupon, you can get started with all that stuff for like $1. I'm not even kidding. Hosting and a website for like $1 or something on GoDaddy. By the way, GoDaddy, I don't like working with them. Just a quick story. Like, this is true, by the way. My mom bought a domain a year ago and of course it expired. And then she's like, she gave me a call a couple of weekends ago and she wanted me to come over her house. And she was like, I want you to help me get this website up because I want to get back to posting on Facebook and stuff. Right. So like even my mom doesn't listen to me. So I came over and she was like, yeah, so I have to wait for GoDaddy to give me my website back. And I was like, why do you have to wait why didn't you buy a new domain? She was like, no, I wanted to use the old one, but it expired. I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, how much did they charge you to get the website back? They charged her $119. Yeah, that's how GoDaddy makes all their money. That's why you can get $1 hosting for a year and a domain for a year with GoDaddy, because they charge people, the noobs like my mom, $119 to get her domain back. So You can find cheap coupons to get started. After that, your very first campaign, it's going to cost you absolutely nothing because I'm going to run the client formula for you once you're ready to get started to bring you on a flood of clients. Okay. I could be a poster child for your business because I'm very excited, and very soon I will have no choice. That's exactly where I was, Sue, and that's okay because once you implement this and once you're serious and once you take action and once you get all set up and you get inside, then you're going to get the results. Michelle says, how do you have clients pay you? Some of my clients, like I said, I have one client, he just likes to pay me with checks. So I use that. I have a business banking account with JP Morgan Chase. I don't know how into the weeds that is, but most of my clients, to be honest, they pay me via PayPal. I already have a payment set up with them in the beginning before I actually talk to them. So they were already kind of used to it. But PayPal is the easiest. I also have like Samcart, which is good. So there's a definite couple of different payment options, but PayPal is fine. You can use PayPal. You can set it up as a DBA. So PayPal is great. Ray, yeah, right now. I'm in Annandale, Virginia, Ray. So if you're near or you know where the tri-state area is, then that's where I am. And when I was here before, I was here a couple years ago. I was in the Pentagon City area. But I hate having to get, like, when you leave your house, there's like a ton of traffic in that area, and it's like takes like 20 minutes to get anywhere unless you're walking, and like, blech. So I moved a little bit farther out, closer. I went to the high school in this area as well. So yeah, I'm just all over the place all the time. This time, or not this time last year, but I was actually in Chicago and Indianapolis and all over. And like I said, I'm thinking about another move soon here. Again, Stacy, the training begins this Wednesday, so that's when week number 1 will open up. Once you get in there, there's going to be a couple welcome videos, so some quick start stuff that you guys can start working on as well. Sue, yeah, the content is dripped out. Frankie, the best email to send your request is mktg@cameron@gmail.com. Yes, that is correct, Charlie. I should type that in there, but I don't want to mess anything up. Scott, you can go ahead and try that again. I don't think anybody else had any issues signing up or getting in, so that might have just been like your browser or something. If you continue to have problems, Scott, let me know. Just send me an email and I'll be sure to see if I can help you figure that out. Oh, Sue, that's a really good idea. What you said about the screenshots, I really like that idea. I actually did. I did something similar to that, but I did a little bit. I kind of did the opposite, where what I wanted to see, Sue, and as kind of like motivation. And so, one of the things you all have to understand when you get started with this, you're gonna do some things that are uncomfortable for you, right? You're gonna do some things that you have to kind of push yourself over the fence to get started, and you have to do things that you haven't done before, and that's the way it's really supposed to be. Okay, the reason it's supposed to be like that because you've always gotten the same results, and I want more for you. Hopefully you want more for yourself and for your family, and you want to do more, and you want to provide more, and you know there's just more out there for you. So with that in mind, what you have to understand is that with this training, there's going to be some things that you're uncomfortable with, but it's going to be worth it because at the end of the day, you're going to get the results that you've always been looking for. And when that happens, then I'm pretty sure that you and I were going to have a great time celebrating what used to be, right? What your life used to be like, what your results used to be in your old business, or all the other stuff that you tried. And hopefully you'll look back at that time and you'll just kind of laugh at it. You'll just think, that was who I was then. That's what I was doing back then. It didn't work. And then I started working with Cameron and everything has been different. And hopefully you'll be helping a lot of business owners. Like I said, you definitely don't have to just do what I do. You can do whatever works best for you and for your lifestyle, whatever it might be. But when you get there, I just want to be there with you and to celebrate with you at kind of like the finish line. So as I was just talking there, I went to go check, and it looks like I said, we only have this available for 30 people. And I kind of been, as best I can, going I've kind of read along, and I just went to go check and refresh my ClickFunnels, and it looks like we have 26 people who signed up. So 26 out of those 30 spots are going. I really, really appreciate you all who have signed up, and I look forward to working with you and taking your business to the next level. Will there be a Facebook page we can meet? Debbie says. Nope, Debbie, I have something even better than a Facebook page planned out for you all. So I don't know. The Facebook thing seems like, I know it's great and lots of people use it, but what I have found is that using a different method works a little bit better for me personally, because I'm not good at like posting on like forums and like Facebook stuff. For some reason, I'm just not good at it. And even sometimes, even with like email support, because like Kirk handles a lot of that for me, it's hard for me to get into that mode when I just prefer to be working actively all the time. So I have a little different method for a group to make sure that we're staying in contact at all times. Scott says he's in. Thanks, Scott. Really appreciate it. Frankie says thanks. How much to run a good initial campaign for the client flood formula? Again, Tony, you don't have to pay anything for that. The first one I'm going to run for you. There are some things that you can do to make it better, but the first one that you do is going to be absolutely for free. Ted, just send me an email if you have any problems. Somebody says that if you're having any problems with the payments or anything like that and you need some help, just send me a support email and I'll be sure to get on that today and follow up with you as soon as possible. Frankie says, really excited. You're the best too, Frankie. I'm really looking forward to working with you as well. And like everybody, like seriously, I know you hear this from everybody, from lots of people who do these types of things, and that's okay, because I genuinely mean it. I'm so excited to work with you. I'm so excited to work with Scott, Frankie. Those are just the two names at the top who said they just signed up. Hopefully there's still some spots left for everybody who wants to get going. Ted, my support email is mktgwithcameron@gmail.com. It's at the bottom. And sorry, I was just quiet there. I was just typing that out to make sure everybody saw that. You can send me a support email there. I'm going to be sure to check that with everybody. But like I was saying, I know everybody says this, and I know everybody claims this type of stuff, but this stuff is really important to me. It comes, I don't know, just from, how hard my mom worked when I was younger. She was a single mom, in the military, and she always did the best she could for us. And I always kind of wanted to do this kind of like entrepreneurial stuff. It was just in me from when I was younger. And, there's so much stuff out there that people could be trying and people could be doing. But, this stuff is really important to me. So working with people like Ted and like Scott and like Sue, like Mary, like everybody who signed up so far and everybody who will sign up, hopefully there's still spots available. But even if they're not, even just you joining me, you all just joining me today, and everybody who wanted to sign up and who is so excited about learning the stuff that I know. It's really important to me to provide a very good service for you and to be there for you and to help your businesses grow. And there's really no other way that I can explain it. Sue says she's really excited to get started. I'm really excited to get started as well. Sue, I was in Indianapolis for like the last year, so I know what that's like. I think we only had like a couple inches of snow so far in Washington, D.C. this winter. And like, I can't even imagine how much they got in Indianapolis, but I didn't want to know. And yeah, what I like to do is I don't really like to travel in the sense of like, let's go travel all across the United States for like the summer. I don't like to do that. But what I do like to do is I like to go places and live there for like 6 months or like a year or something like that. That's really fun for me because I don't know, that's just the way I like to do it. So I've been back here. Like I said, this is where I went to high school, in this area. So I've been hanging out here for the last 8 months or so. And I was really trying to get back here and get back focused on really building out this training that you see. So like the reason that I've been here is because I've been really like hyper focused on this for the last 8 months or a year or something. And like, so like Peter, like one of my former students, Peter, I still talk with them on Skype and stuff. But I just like to go out and travel around and do things. So, my friend, my former student, Peter, he likes to just go travel and go do something. Like right now he's away. He was just working on the beach somewhere. So One of my other students, Andrew, he sent me a picture of him like at his like computer and like his view from like whatever hotel he's at. So I don't personally like to like travel like that, but I do like to go new places, get new experiences, because I don't have to ever be anywhere. Like I always tell people when they ask me like what I do and stuff, I was like, I don't know, I just wherever the internet takes me. Right? As long as I got internet connection, I can pretty much work effectively. So Stacy says she lives in LA and I should go visit. I think it might, like, I've never been a big fan of the West Coast. I was born and raised in Indiana somewhat. It's when I went back to every summer. So I'm kind of adapted to like the flat landscape of Indiana, but it's all about going past your comfort zones. And I wouldn't be much of a person about telling everybody else to go outside their comfort zones if I didn't go outside of my comfort zone sometime as well. But yeah, so it looks like I've caught up to all of the questions. I've answered everything so far. So if you have any other questions, you can please let me know. You can send it to my support email. But 2.5 hours, second time's the charm, I guess. I'm so thankful for everybody who joined me today. Like, I truly appreciate it. I'm looking forward to working with everybody who signed up, and I cannot wait for the next 6 weeks to spend with you, to watch you grow, to get all the things that I know that you're going to get out of your business. It really touched me that you all joined me today and that you're putting your faith in me, you're investing your time and your energy and your money with me, and helping you the business that you've always deserved. All right. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I look forward to seeing you all on Wednesday. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.